Yeah, we can hear you.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, no surprise. I mean, that's what we've all known. You know what we should do? Actually, we can maybe start with this now. You weren't here at the time, but I want to talk about the entirety of Deontay Wilder's propped up manufactured career, because when you look at how protected this guy was by the WBC, it's actually appalling. You know, it's disgusting how protected this Romero was. So I'm going to get into it. Vitaly Klitschko, an all-time great heavyweight, retires, right? Wilder was number one contender for, I think, 1 or 2 years at that point. Never fought him, ever. Didn't choose to fight him, not once. He gets his title by beating Bermane-Stiverne. Bermane-Stiverne won his title by beating Eric Molina and then rematching him after Vitaly retired. So he fought him back-to-back, beat the same guy twice in a row to win the vacant title. Vitaly Klitschko fucking knocked out Eric Molina when he was 27-0 and in his fucking prime. And that's how Wilder got his title from Bermane-Stiverne. He defended against Bermane-Stiverne and a bunch of other no-hopers, but he never fought world-level competition. The only 2 times in his career he fought world-level competition, the fights just simply put weren't competitive. I mean, I would have picked Povetkin to knock him the fuck out. White would have knocked him out. AJ would have knocked him out. Zhilei Zhang would have knocked him out. You know, Andy Ruiz, he has like probably arguably the fastest hands in the division. If he doesn't get caught with that right hand, he knocks him out. Like literally everybody from this era, the great heavyweights, like over in Europe and shit like that, are all fighting each other in that European scene. They would have exposed this Romero bum. He was protected by the WBC, propped up with bullshit title fights, and he had a lot of dives throughout his career as well. When you look at Malik Scott, the second Bermane-Stiverne fight, Hellenius, you know, so many fixes. And not only that, his first 25 or 30 fights were against fat, blown up, fucking overweight, obese middleweights with high blood pressure, man. This dude is an Romero bum, and is the most overrated fighter in the history of the sport. Literally, go ahead.
Well,
Yep.
You know what's interesting about this whole event? Because I mean, there's just a whole bunch of good things happen. I mean, we had some mismatches early on. And spoilers, by the way, for anybody that hasn't seen any of these fights, we're going to talk about some of the fights that occurred. So, Makhmudov getting his ass beat, something awful, by Hamas. I mean, this would hurt him with body shots. You know, Gonzalo and I have often talked about how heavyweights need to go more to the body and how a lot of heavyweights seem to be able to take body shots. This dude couldn't take him. He was a giant. He looked like a cave troll in there. So, shout out to Hamas, or whatever his name is, for stopping him. As for Wilder, listen, I expected Joseph Parker to win. I don't know why people were calling it a monumental upset, but one thing I was disappointed with was Parker not doing as much as he should have. And again, that just goes to show you that this dude has a hump that he can't get over. That's why he's a contender, and he's not the world champion of the division, because there's something. I'll give you an example real quick, and I'll shut up. When they got into the clinches, he wasn't punching. He would accept the clinches. I mean, that to me is a mark of a guy who's saying, okay, I accept the clinch. I don't want to go the extra mile. Too passive is what I'm trying to say. But good for him for beating Wilder. I was afraid that they were going to rob him because they had the Joshua fight down the line and there wasn't that much action. So, maybe, we've seen worse robberies, but the judges got it right. And Wilder just has to, like Dora said, this dude just carefully matched. Some of us try to tell people, look, Wilder's not that good, and some people wanted to make it out to be as if Josh. Do you remember a year ago, people were saying Usyk was avoiding him? They were trying to kickstart that little narrative. So, hey, man, it is what it is.
No, there's too much camaraderie there between him and Malik Scott. Too much. There's like a bromance going there. I mean, he didn't have no energy. Like in the championship rounds, that wasn't necessarily the Julio Cesar Chavez trainer with the little red strip on his forehead yelling, "You gotta do it for your children." He was basically saying, okay, you gotta punch through with that right hand, but it was Jay Diaz, the one that was giving the more concise instructions, but not really either.
What's up, guys?
Far better on the
Can we put the AJ Duck Wilder rematch or talks to bed? Because Wilder blatantly turned down a 2-fight deal for $100 million back in 2019, and this was before inflation was at 40-year highs. Going into 2022, 2023. So that was more money than he would have ever made. Wilder's blatantly said, openly said, I turned down that fight so I could go knock out Fury, and shit like that. He said this. He told this to Fury, I think in the build up to the second fight. I turned down that AJ fight to fight you because he was fighting that guy coming off of a 2-year coke binge, an alcoholic, maybe even a liquid heroin addict. So the whole Wilder's a boogeyman and Duck, it all comes to light, I want to see the Lick Deontay's Balls crew and, these George Floyd supporter channels. So I want to hear them say exposed. It went from Rigondeaux to Spence to Wilder. If Haney ever steps up and fights an elite guy his size, that's not old. He's going to get knocked the fuck out too, like a Duran Ennis. He gets starched in 6 rounds. I want to hear these guys come on here and say exposed. Because when fighters like Canelo or Loma lose decisions, they get called, oh, you got exposed. But they've never been shut out like that. They've never been knocked the fuck out. So I was thinking,
hey, who else picked Parker?
What you guys doing?
What's up? Who else picked Parker? What's up? Remember me? I picked Parker.
Pause your shit.
Well, Lefty, you get too much.
Oh, sorry. I turned it off.
Yeah, man. Pucho, you were right. I commend you. Good pick. Same thing with USBDA. I'm proud of you guys. You got the right pick. With Wilder, no, not anymore with that performance. No way. You know why? Because I'll tell you what, man. This guy Wilder, he's gun shy now. Like he's afraid of getting hit, bro. Like ever since he been destroyed by Fury. The chances that he needed to take, before he would throw much more of his right hand, even though he's getting hit. He threw very minimal. I don't know if that's because of Malik Scott's shit. And he threw, I think he landed maybe one, but Parker had it blocked a little bit. So, and it phased Parker, but it wasn't too much because he blocked it a little bit. He's extremely gun shy now. Like the age also is kicked in. He's not the Wilder of old. He's done. That's it.
This was Wilder's best. This was Fury's best win, Gypsy. What the fuck? What's going on here?
Yeah, but like I said, I also picked
Parker. This is Parker's best win. Is that what you mean?
She makes her mom mad, and she's upset. She's don't go in with those shoes.
Wait a minute. Give me.
Yeah, but that's because he was tired. He was tired when he got KO'd. You guys forget that. He didn't take punishment like Wilder.
No, but that's the good thing that Joshua did, Bushos.
Bucho.
Guys, let him finish.
This is reality, yeah? Like, Parker did not have to do anything to win that fight, and he won all 12 rounds. The reality is, after all the hype, after all the talk, after all the one face, one name, one champion, Deontay Wilder isn't the first, isn't the second, isn't the third, isn't the fourth best heavyweight of his generation. Usyk's above him, Joshua's above him, Parker's above him, Ruiz is above him. This guy, bro, has been counterfeit for a long fucking time.
Well, we can't really say that. Can we really say that? I mean, the guy.
Yes,
I'm not a Deontay Wilder. I'm not a Deontay Wilder nut
Bro,
hugger.
Spilker was giving this guy a boxing lesson.
No, but you gotta be a realist too. You can't.
I am
you
a
can't
realist.
just go
When a
by
football
because he
hooligans
lost at
outboxing you,
38.
there's a problem.
No,
Wilder was
no,
never that good.
guys.
Hey guys, Wilder was never that good. Again, it was a PBC hype job. It's
Yeah,
the same thing with Spence, and this isn't further proof. Wow, they're never gonna put Tank in with anybody else because the same thing's gonna happen to him. What drives me crazy about the telecast is they talk about Wilder. Oh, he's one of the most devastating punchers in boxing history. But 2 minutes before that, they said, well, Wilder's main critique is that his resume is real limited and kind of weak. So what is it? Like, are you a devastating puncher, or are you just a guy that's been hyped up and never been that good? It's crazy. Like, I can't believe they say that from 1 minute to the next. It's just these commentators drive me fucking crazy.
Can I say something on that? If that's okay, guys? Hey, what's up, man? It's inevitable, man. What's up, guys? Everybody, thank you so much. I'm in here. Can I say something about it real quick, and I'm gonna let y'all talk?
Go ahead.
Shoot. Appreciate it, man. Hey, you know what's crazy, man? I saw this from the beginning when Anthony Joshua actually wanted to fight Vladimir Klitschko, even though he lost to Fury. He still took the fight, and he was a young pup, right? And then Wilder, they asked him, "Hey, do you want to fight Klitschko to unify? To be undisputed?" And his own manager said, "No, we're not ready for that." And that's when I realized that Deontay Wilder was a fake fraud, fighting nothing but bums. And I knew Anthony Joshua was trying to be legit or where he was trying to be, one of the greats. Now, the careers are totally different to the aspect of where they are today. But I feel like karma came back and bit Wilder's ass. And I'm glad that Joshua won tonight and showed that he still got more skills than Deontay Wilder.
Yeah, I mean, he was advised.
He's got more skill than before.
He was advised to stay away from people by fucking Al Heyman. I mean, he was never that fucking good, man. And you see why they built that whole facade over there. Like, they did a good job. I'll give the PBC that. They sold this fake facade to so many people with the tribal types that these fighters are more than what they really are. I mean, you're still seeing it today. I mean, I like the guy, but they got Barrios as the champion. They're still pushing guys like Vito Mielnicki, and it's just like, guys, like they just it's not real over there. It's fake.
Well, yeah, that's a great point. One second. That's a great point.
I want to ask Jimmy.
Let Mr. Media talk.
I want to ask Jimmy about that. In terms of business, because people look at Wilder, he won for a while, he was undefeated. But in terms of actual pay-per-view business, box office business at the gate, how would you describe his box office appeal throughout the years?
Well, you can put it this way against, I butcher his name, the Polish bald kid, Golovkin, whatever his name is, he knocked out in the 8th round. On the Nielsen ratings, his fight, heavyweight championship fight, came in second to men's curling. That's how bad it did. He didn't sell out. He missed by almost half, selling out his hometown in Alabama.
What's men's curling?
That's exactly. They take a stone, they sliding on ice. It's a Canadian, very, very niche sport. God. So, okay. But there's a reason I've always said, you look at this guy's resume. He turned pro. Before he had on his, I think it was his 32nd pro fight, 24 for a title, his average opponent, world ranking of his average opponent was 169. So if that's his average, just think about how many guys are ranked 400, 500, 365. He also possesses the worst heavyweight resume of any WBC champion in the 60 years history of that organization. And that's just a fact by the people he fought. He personally stopped 2 unifications of the heavyweight division because he didn't want to fight guys that he should have fought. It was just a matter of time. Boxing, I don't give a fuck. You can punch like Ernie Shavers, which Deontay Wilder doesn't. But this isn't street fighting. This is boxing. And the fact that he could not take out Parker, who kept doing the same goddamn thing. He kept ducking straight down. If Wilder had half the fucking ability that his fans thought he would have just fucking fainted into an uppercut and probably put him to sleep. There was so many things he could have did, but his fundamentals are horrible. His balance is horrible. Yeah. I've got to give him props for the hammer punches that he was throwing in the clinch. That was pretty unique. The side of fucking his head.
Yeah, that was pretty bad. Jimmy, but it's not like Jimmy. It's not like Deontay Wilder was. This is what some people were claiming, that Fury defeated Deontay Wilder because Fury is such a wizard, skillful, boxing, high IQ, phenomenon that he's the only one that can decipher Deontay Wilder. No, like
Joseph Parker did it.
No, exactly.
Where does
See, look, this guy belongs in the Hall of Fame. You can tell somebody, oh, this guy belongs in the Hall of Fame. Why? Because my friend said he does. But okay, so like it's one of those like, yeah, it was just all built off of bullshit. Fury, you know, they talk about he's the legend of all time because he beat Deontay Wilder. Then when you say who did Deontay Wilder beat, right? They just used that trilogy, took on a life of its own, and they used it to put these people in stratospheric things they didn't belong in. Neither one of them. But I'll let the next person give their piece.
Yeah, I was gonna say real quick. Also, okay, considering he's 38 and he's been knocked out two or three times. He's also extra hesitating to throw that right hand. But this is the question. Is he really hesitating to throw that right hand? Because he's a little shook now that he's taking some knockouts, or is it because he's got a guy with a decent chin and a good punch that he's never faced before? I think it's a combination of two things. Because he never really faced somebody that can punch.
Yeah, I don't think he ever fought somebody as young and outside of Fury. And maybe Ortiz, somebody as young as Parker, and like, you know, a guy he's game. He's always game for fights. And he has a pretty good resume, right? He has accomplished some things. I think that's why Gonzalo's point that it's probably a combination of two. I think I never thought Wilder was much of anything. You just take the right hand away from him, it's over. He loses. He cannot outbox anybody. He only did it one time. Think about that. One time in his whole career. That's Bermain Stavern. That was it.
No, it was horrible. Yeah,
that's a great point, by the way. And another factor, another factor as well. We have to consider first time Deontay Wilder fights without protection from like his own promoter. He's a free agent now. He goes abroad and gets fucking schooled, loses every round.
He didn't thank Al Heyman.
Oh, yeah.
But you don't think the crown...
Exactly. Yeah, and to add to that real quick, sorry, just to add to that real quick, no American judges, no American referee, maybe not even judges. So that was a good thing to see. Sorry.
Yeah, but in the crown was a little heavy, guys. The crown was heavy. Did you see the crown he walked in with? That shit wore his leg.
That explains it. You know what? That's a good point. We're gonna wait and see what the excuses are. By the way, shout out to High and Low Sports Centrum for his super chat. I appreciate that, man. He says BDA, the home of boxing. That's right. Thank you.
What do y'all think of Caballero? I
would also add that, I mean, Wilder showed up at 213. And yeah, Parker was heavier, but he's not necessarily in comparison to other heavyweights like a big heavyweight. So when you fight a guy that's more closer to your size, he was very hesitant. He was very wary of the countering of the guy that's going to initiate. So if Wilder decided to throw that right hand, he was afraid that Parker, who's not necessarily big, but not small, but, he's kind of on the level, would come back with his own counters. So he was hesitant. He probably would have fared well against a bigger dude. For example,
Mahmoud. Hold on. So you're saying that Parker's not a heavyweight? He's been fighting at heavyweight all his career. What do you mean?
No, I didn't say that. I'm saying that he's not a giant heavyweight. He's on the smaller end. So in comparison, Wilder, if he would have faced like a 6'6" dude that would have weighed like 300 pounds, maybe the nimbleness and the quick straight shots, which he didn't throw many, would have he would have like seen right in between the lines. Okay, I got space to throw my punches against a slower, more plodding.
I agree. At the same time, if he loses to a bigger guy, then the excuse is gonna be, Wilder's coming in at 211, 214, whatever.
I'm just saying he wasn't very easy to read amid the infighting.
I think you're right. Yeah, you're onto something because I think this has been my thing about these heavyweights, man. I think the bigger you are, the you give up athleticism after you get to a certain size. Like these guys are they're just too big. I mean, Parker was well proportioned. He had speed. He had foot speed. He was just like, I think these smaller heavyweights are going to do better. And that's why Usyk is probably going to whoop them all.
Yeah. I remember Emmanuel Stewart mentioned that a long time ago. He said, like, there's a point where there's a threshold and you start you're so big that you start losing some, athleticism, like you said. By the way, let's read some two super chats. Yeah. Gonzalo, 2 super chats that you can go in. Paul Atreides, thank you for your super chat. He says, Wilder is dirty as fuck, rabbit punching. Dude is always trying to smack guys with the the steel in his wrist. Yeah, that's true. His bionic hand, whatever. That Gucci Berserk, thank you for your super chat. He says, thoughts on Deontay Wilder responding yes when asked if he thought he did enough to win the fight. Oh, wow, he said that?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, that's the same guy that said that he wanted to kill someone. Repeatedly said that, not just once. He also said he wanted to be impregnated. Those are just two of the crazy comments that come off the top of my head. So I'm unsurprised that he said.
I'll tell you what, he fought more like he wanted to get impregnated. He fought like a pussy. Honestly.
Parker's a medium-sized heavyweight. He's not too big. He's not too small. He's in between. And what I liked about Parker, what he was doing, and I'm pretty sure probably Fury told him this shit, he was ducking his head every time Wilder would come in with that. He wasn't moving to the side. He was
Wilder
ducking his
only
head.
had one punch. Yeah,
I never gave him an easy target.
That's what I'm saying. Parker wasn't even good. He had to do next to nothing to win every single round. He was fucking dreadful. He'll get smoked by any decent heavyweight.
And another thing that he was doing good was he wasn't engaging. He wasn't following Wilder as he was trying to get him to get to him.
Luis Ortiz.
That's why it was such a boring ass fight because of that. He was just waiting.
Like Luis Ortiz was tailor made. He was handpicked. And the reason, he's a little bit on the bigger side. He can crack, but he's slow. So, he was handpicked because they knew that he was slow. Luis Ortiz, that every time he threw that big left hand, you were at least going to see the motherfucking punch coming, that you were going to be able to brace in time to take the brunt of the shot and be able to deal with it. But a guy like Wilder,
the Wilder that fought Ortiz is better.
That was a cherry pick, dude. That was his best win, and that was a cherry pick. That was ancient, too.
That Wilder was better than what we saw today. This Wilder is just trash. There's nothing left anymore from him. He's got power, but he's got his reflexes are shot. His reflexes shot. There was areas where he normally would throw a fucking right hand. He didn't throw it. He was so afraid of getting hit because of what happened to him before.
Yeah, Jim, this is also, you can throw this into the mix. It's like another factor. Okay, he's made millions of dollars, and you know what Marvin Hagler said about the silk sheets and the silk pajamas or some shit? I forgot.
Yeah, he's got a smile on your face,
bro. A lot of money. Okay, listen. So you remember in the post fight, I'm just be wearing this big smile, like be doing the ayahuasca. He don't give a fuck no more because he's made millions.
Yeah, it's right. Like, he's taking everybody on the ride, dude. Gone, bro. Gonzalez, his killer is gone.
Because he's made it to where he has because he conned the public. So he don't give a fuck no more. He's been through a lot of shame already. So this is just another one. This is another thing to throw in the mix that I've already been knocked out, exposed to the people. Now he's doing the ayahuasca. He don't give a fuck. He's got millions in the bank. So it's okay.
I agree, Gonzalo. I totally agree.
Can I say something? If that's okay with you guys?
Go ahead.
Okay. Hey, you know what? I think you're totally right about that. Underweight heavyweights that aren't supremely heavier, because as you can see, Klitschko, when he fought Saunders, do you remember he fought Saunders, the guy from Australia, and he lost to him? Do you remember that fight, guys?
Yeah.
Sanders.
Yeah, Corey Saunders.
Corey Sanders. Yeah, he was. Also, remember, he was really young in that. In that
yeah,
fight.
yeah. You can look at Holyfield versus George Foreman, which George was heavier puncher, of course. But George Foreman Holyfield came from the cruiserweight and started making his marks at the heavyweight. But at the end of the day, he was a lighter version of a heavyweight. And also, you could look at it like Mike Tyson. Also, he took advantage of his size. He said it's easy to hit these big guys because you're shorter and you're not that heavy as they are, and you could expose them. So you're right. Yeah, it's been shown in history.
Yeah, the smaller. I mean, there was what was that guy's name? Sultan. I forgot his. Back in the day. Yeah, that guy was a small ass dude for the heavyweight division. But he was good. That's how he made it as far as he did. He was a small dude though. I was impressed by that.
Terrible. Yeah, he made that look terrible.
Yep.
There's Ray Mercer, David Tua, Mike Tyson. What was it, David Hayden? And they say the bigger weights are like dominating now. But I would argue, I would say that a lot of the times big heavyweights lose to other big heavyweights nowadays. Every now and then, when a small heavyweight, where there's a few and less smaller heavyweights nowadays, but every now when one comes along, they'll upset the bigger guy. But there's not too many, so that's why it doesn't happen on a constant. Big heavyweights lose to big heavyweights. You want to beat up a big heavyweight, put a smaller in heavyweight.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it happens. I mean, AJ fought that midget, not midget, 6 foot something, a boxer, remember? And he didn't do that. Anyways, guys, just super chat before I lose this one. Super chat, and then you guys go in. Joe Biscuit, thank you for your super chat. He says Parker is the second best name on Wilder's resume. He also lost to AJ, although a slight competitive bout, and nearly lost to Andy Ruiz. Wilder exposed again. Fury's overrated. AJ would have exposed them years ago. All right.
The thing is, Bucho, AJ with Parker, I think AJ actually beat him pretty comfortably. I think he dominated him in a way. If you watch the fight, he landed more. He was. I watched it I think a year back. I think he landed much. He's a more dominant. He's much better than Parker is. Yeah, but he right now he's even better. What I saw from Otto Wallin, he was doing things I've never seen him do before. Like I don't know, maybe Ben. What's his name? Ben.
Davison.
His coach's name. Ben Davis. Yeah, he showed some shit that I've never seen him do before. I mean, like the first round, he did a step I've never seen him do. Like what kind of that was like out of the book. Like he's never done that shit before. I think this AJ will give Fury massive problems. I think he might beat him.
I think he'll beat him. I'll be honest. I think he'll beat him.
Yeah, I've always thought. I'm with you, Blue Collar. I've always thought. I don't know why. I just feel like it's a styles thing, and I don't think Fury really punches that hard. I think AJ.
No, he punches hard, but recognize he punches hard. He doesn't punch as hard as he does.
What I'm saying,
AJ,
there you go. Yeah, he doesn't punch like pound for pound. That one punch versus the other. I don't think he punches as hard as AJ does, and AJ's a good enough boxer where that's not gonna work on him.
Yeah, Fury busted up Wallin. Fury busted up Wallin, made him like bruise up all around his face and everything after that cut. But he made him wobble, but he never, he just didn't, he didn't have enough to make him quit on the fucking stool, bro. Like that motherfucker made him.
Also, I just wanted to add that the smaller end. I'm not saying that they're not heavyweights. I don't want to be misunderstood. Yeah, those guys will give the bigger guys a lot of problems. But some of these guys that, like for example, I say Parker's not really that big. Well, he weighed around 245. The thing I see is that some of these smaller end heavyweights. I'm kind of exaggerating, but I'm trying to make a point. They're also showing up kind of big nowadays because I think that they're scared. Not scared, but they don't want to get countered by the huge heavyweights. They want to be able to take that power that they're taking a little bit away from their speed. So even Parker, he could come in more fitter. Jarrell, Big Baby Miller, he could have came in fucking 60, 70 pounds leaner. Maybe David the wash out in shape, but some of these other guys, man, that are around 6'3", they shouldn't be coming in around 250, 260. Remember back in the days, 230, 225, like that. A lot of the times they're adding that extra muscle and weight because they don't want to get caught by the 6'5", 6'6" dudes and get knocked out. But that's not necessarily an advantage either. It takes away from their speed.
Hey guys, I got a question, and then I'll let y'all answer if that's okay with you with history of boxing, because I love the history of boxing. So we're talking about the shorter, not shorter, but just the leaner, not as heavy as could be. Do you think that Rocky Marciano, for me, Rocky Marciano lived in an era of older fighters, Wilcock, and then of course you got the bomber up there. But do you think that when you look at it with styles and you look at it with legitimacy, do you think that Rocky Marciano, with his record of 50-0 or 49-0, I'm sorry, do you think that he could have actually competed with Muhammad Ali?
Probably not, because he would have been a lot smaller and way.
Yeah, he'd have been a light heavyweight in today's era, dude.
Yeah, he'd be fighting Kovalev. He'd be fighting Kovalev these days.
Right. He'll be fighting guys like Kovalev, Artur Beterbiev, Dmitry Bivol, those type of guys.
But do you think that Marciano's a hype job? Or we got to give him credit because
Let me tell you something about that, brother. Let me say it out of Muhammad Ali's mouth. He said it himself. I'm not making this shit up. He said that when they kind of bullshit sparred when Rocky Marciano was like 50 years old at that point. He was retired. And he's like, if I fought him on his heyday, I feel like he's a better version of Joe Frazier. That's what he told. That's what he said. So like, hey, bro, I expect that he might have been able to beat him. He might have been able to beat him. And plus, I think he carries a much more of a punch than Joe Frazier does. He had that one punch. They would call it the sweet something. I forgot the name. He has that punch. He called there's a name for that. Suzy Q. He called that punch the Suzy Q. Okay. That shit was devastating. That's what.
Hey, bro, I want to bring up a point, bro, that I haven't heard nobody bring up yet. So we're just getting used to all these fighters quitting on their stools now. Fucking everybody's no Maschenko all of a sudden, or what's going on in boxing, bro?
Yes, that's a great point, bro. I said in my post-fight review, Wallin, after the 5th round, he was getting dominated. He should have gone out there and fucking threw his hands and got knocked out. That was
just 1 round of damage.
5 rounds.
He took 1 round of damage, and then the fight was over. What's going on, man? And nobody brought it up. That's how fucking they're brainwashing us into thinking this is okay with what's going on in boxing, bro. What the fuck? They all got their fucking orbitals broken. All these guys, fucking Sonny, this guy, fucking Andre, fucking the dude that fucking Matias fought, fucking 4 dudes in like a month, bro.
The one thing I was saying, defensive Wallin.
One thing. Real quick, recognize real quick. One thing, you got to remember, Wallin is from Sweden. So this was quite apropos. You got an African coming in, just bullying him around. That's essentially what's going on in Sweden as a whole. So this was a microcosm of that whole social collapse going on.
Didier, you know what I was going to say? I was going to say, in defense of Wallin, it did look like something happened to his fucking nose. His nose was looking really bad.
I think he broke it, bro.
Yeah, I think he did too. I'm not,
I can't lie. What do you mean you think he broke it? You mean AJ broke it?
No, I recognize you're right. Yeah. It was, you're right. I recognize it was shattered.
Yeah, AJ broke his nose. Yeah, so he's
AJ's back. AJ's a tough guy against somebody who can't even punch back. Wow, so fucking impressive. I want to see him up against Zhang, China power. If he can take the Chinese power, I reckon he's going to get.
I would like to see those fights too, Mirage. I'm not saying I'd
rather see AJ
back.
Just like Mirage is saying, I'd rather see him with Filip Hrgović. That's what I want to see.
As long as he's fighting good level opponents, but
he's had he's had 3 cans in a row. Is he going to fight a real fucking top guy?
Oh, Wallin's a can. Wallin's a can, right?
Hey, man, Wallin didn't come to fight, bro. He fought scared the whole fight, bro. He fought scared the whole fight. He didn't come to win, bro. He came for a paycheck. He gets out by his body.
Look at AJ. AJ was punching him all day.
Bro, Wallin came to win, bro.
He was counter
punching. Did not come to win, bro.
No punch.
He got no punch, but he came to win. You can't say that he came to win.
Bro, he didn't come to win.
Guys, let Recognize finish his point. Oh, sorry, BD.
No, that's my point. My point is this. It's simple. Like, Wallin's a bum. Was he a bum going into this fight? In your opinion,
I'm not saying he's a bum.
No.
I'm not saying he's a bum. I'm just saying that he came for a check.
I'm going to give AJ credit. Look, I don't like what Wallin did. I don't like what Wallin did either as a boxing fan. But I'm going to give AJ credit. AJ was counterpunching him all day, hitting him with good shots. I think he broke his nose, and he checked out. He said, man, fuck that. I'm not fighting this big dude who's fucking fast, who's probably going to end up knocking me out. I'm done.
Yo, what? Listen, I'm not gonna fault him either. Even though I'm built different, I would have stayed it till the end. That's just me. But the point is that when you got normal human beings like Wallin, of course I understand if they quit. Now, number 2, look, Wallin looked very good against Fury. Here, AJ just broke him down and made him quit. So, like Recognize said, you got to give him a modicum of credit here.
And that's the thing, though. Hang on. Sorry. That's what this. Let's just be honest here. That's what this comes down to. This is all just cope. I've been told for 4 years how great of a boxer Otto Wallin is because he had a decent fight with Tyson Fury. This guy couldn't knock the skin off a rice pudding. Couldn't knock out a good wank, and we saw that tonight. He's always been a European
said
level
before the
heavyweight
fight.
who can't punch.
Come on, let him finish. Let him finish, man. Let him finish. Gypsy, let him finish.
He's always been a European level guy, okay skills, who can't punch, and this is his level. Tyson Fury just shat the bed that night because Tyson Fury's been living on borrowed time for a long, long time, and you'll see that in February. That's a reality of the situation. Wallin isn't that good, despite many people have been telling me for fucking 4 years how great he is. He's a fucking average fighter. He's European level who can't punch, not top 10.
Yeah.
And you saw that.
I said before the fight, bro. I said that Wallin has absolutely no chance. Anybody who thinks that Wallin has a chance against AJ, he has. But then again, AJ came out better than what he was before as well. So that made it even worse for Wallin.
Yeah, that's what you. If you're an elite level heavyweight, that's what you're supposed to do against a guy like Otto Wallin. That was Joshua's best performance for for a while. So
Fury's case was the eye, man. Fury's case was the eye cut, bro. Like that happens to anybody. It can happen to anyone. Like that leather touches your eye the wrong way and get teared up, and next thing you know, you're bleeding out of that shit. And that guy was trying to take advantage, even though he got annihilated by Fury. He was wobbled multiple times. But Fury wasn't fighting from a range. He was trying to fight from the close pocket, and that gave Wallin the chance to survive in that fight.
Well,
that was the difference. Yeah.
Can I say something on that? Is it okay with you guys?
You don't have to. By the way, inevitable. You don't have to ask every time. It just this is like a freestyle thing. Just jump in.
Oh yeah, but I give everybody respect. My bad, bro. I always show everybody respect.
That's all right. I respect that. I respect it.
So we're talking about we got to give respect for Tyson Fury to a certain aspect. I know that his last upcoming wasn't good, but he's shown his tendencies and he's shown his addictions. He's shown everything where he came from, right? But he is the legitimate champ. You can't deny him. For me, this legacy's heavyweights are going to be Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua, and then you got Wilder. No matter what you say, his pedigree of the 10-year run that he had. Then you got Parker. Then you got. I know y'all trying to bring up Usyk, but I'm talking about the heavyweights before Usyk. And then we got Andy Ruiz. He came up and he stunned the world like Buster Douglas with Tyson. But what I'm trying to say is, do you think this win, and do you think if Tyson Fury, I know everybody's doubting him now, but do you think that if Tyson Fury beats him and Anthony Joshua gets his legitimacy to fight Tyson Fury for the undisputed championship of the world for himself, do you think that fight's going to be made next year?
Yes. But the thing is, we got to see what happens between Usyk and Fury first.
Man, fuck Andy Ruiz, man. Ain't nobody want to see that fucker come back, man. He's another Wilder, man. These guys, just like Big Baby Miller, man. I'm so glad he lost. I'm so glad Wilder lost, and we don't need Andy Ruiz's fucking lazy. He's up and down. He's inconsistent. You can't trust him. So, man, I think Usyk is going to clean up and do us all a favor.
I like the fact that AJ came out like this. I guess he's more confident. So whatever happens between Fury and Usyk, at the end of the day, he'll take the guy that wins that fight.
What happened to Derek James, guys?
I don't know, man. He chose
trainer of the year.
Well, he got rid of him, and AJ fought like he was supposed to fight. Like I said, how he had to fight. He had to just go in there and fight. Don't do nothing spectacular because you don't need nothing unique to beat Otto Wallin. All you need to do is go beat him up. Just go in and just beat him up, because that's all he could do. He's just too big and strong for him and fast.
You think Ryan Garcia moved out of Dallas already? I think he already did.
I don't know. In regards to Joshua, Jimmy, this is what I saw. Very fundamentally and technically sound, and you could tell that he was in control round by round. And in my mind, I was like looking at him through the TV, and I was like, this dude, he's controlling distance, but he's also understanding that he's wearing this dude down methodically, and then he started stabbing him to the body. So in his mind, he knew, dude, that every round that he was stabbing him to the body. Oh, and he was also honing in that right hand. That right hand couldn't miss, and he was calm about it. So he was very technically and fundamentally sound.
Gonzalo Wallin won one round of that fight in that entire time. It was the second round.
I don't think he won.
But he won one round. But every other round was all AJ.
Controlled. He was controlled.
Yeah.
He's better now.
Yeah.
You could tell that he's his gas tank. He can control it now. He's in control of it.
Yeah.
Does anybody even want to see the Wilder fight?
Not anymore, bro. Like that guy's washed. He's done.
Finished. That has to be done. That's over now.
He's washed.
Surely.
I want to see Wilder laid the fuck out, man.
Man, I don't think I can take another event where I'm hearing Wilder talking third person, trying to make wise quotes like he's some wise man. That shit just drives me crazy. I mean, y'all notice how he talks now? He's so entitled. Like he thinks he's some kind of like Buddhist with these
guru.
Quotes.
It's like a guru. Yeah.
Every single cunt who does DMT, they come up, bro. I hate those fucking people, man. If I was like the supreme leader of the world, I'd make a camp for those people. I ain't gonna lie.
Wait a minute. Trains too? And you're gonna make trains too to get people to those camps? Blue collar sports, I know what you're about, man. Not on this channel. By the way, shout out to Rider of the Storm for his contribution with the super chat. He says Wilder proved he's always been a hype job. Goodbye. Well, I mean, look, listen. Let's back up, because I'll say this about this heavyweight division. It's been overrated. I mean, when you got a guy like Usyk coming up in weight and he's the best guy in the division, doesn't that mean that the division has been a little overrated? Just a little bit.
Yes. Yeah, you can't say that. Like, Holyfield went up from cruiserweight to heavyweight. Holyfield
I can't say that. I would agree with that. I'm going to agree with PDA only because when Fury beat Klitschko, he was already old, and Fury, he got popped with steroids. I mean, really, how good were these guys? You know?
Yeah, exactly. This is reality.
The Fury that beat Klitschko, I'll say it again. Of the Fury that beat Klitschko would have beaten anybody right now. That guy,
he was dirty because he was dirty. He was on the shit.
Fight. That was a terrible fight.
It was a terrible fight. Mirage. It was a terrible Mirage. It was a fight, but it was a terrible fight. And the thing is,
why are you pretending that was some amazing performance? That version was so good. They stuck the shit out of the place.
He couldn't get touched. He didn't get touched. He dominated him.
It's not only you.
Did you see Klitschko's face? Did you see Klitschko's face after that fight? And did you see his face? Not a scratch on him. Klitschko got busted up by everything, bro. Just
terrible.
Yeah, but in the grand scheme of things, it's not just Usyk moving up. Look at Tyson Fury. He arguably lost to an MMA fighter that fought one time in the professionals. And also his 2-3 wins against Wilder, the 2 in the draw, they look spectacular. But now in hindsight, after reevaluating how Deontay Wilder actually looks, if people are not convinced enough, he's not a good fighter. So why did Tyson Fury all of a sudden catapult to stardom? After beating
you can't say that, bro.
Because he beat up on Wilder, who was a bomb, and he was made out to be more of a better heavyweight than he actually is.
Crazy overrated. Heavyweight division is crazy overrated. This is what the guy saying in the chat. He's correct.
One more thing. One more thing. One at a time. Everyone's talking.
One at a time. Can I go next after him? That's okay.
Yeah, just one thing. So apparently, I was told, as many of you guys were as well, this is the golden age of heavyweight boxing with like Wilder, Fury, AJ, all that shit. The Vladimir Klitschko era was terrible. The worst era in heavyweight boxing, they said. How was Povetkin able to hang around for so long, way past his prime, and knock out a fucking golden contender in Dillian White? How was Miscellaneous able to hang around for so long and knock out fucking prospects? How was Pulev able to hang around so fucking long and get title shots? If this is the golden era, it's an overrated era. It always has been. There's been 2 good heavyweights, 3 good heavyweights at max. It is what it is. It's been overrated by as hell.
Well, yes, and the one,
I wouldn't call it a golden era, but it's not bad. It's not a complete bad era.
Terrible era.
I want to piggyback on Gonzo. Hey, Gonzo, I got to piggyback on what Gonzo said, because the way I look at these wins, it's like when I look at the Tank wins, and I'm like, all right, he beat this guy, and let's see how that win ages. And you see a guy like Pitbull Cruz, who looked like shit his last few fights. And now it's kind of the same thing with Fury. You know, he beat Wilder, and now we look at like Wilder was never the guy before, and then after he looks even worse. So it's like I would see how these wins age. Do they age gracefully, or do they don't age well?
Sometimes sometimes some guys have one good fight. Like, I'll give you an example. The Lara and what was that guy, that big ass motherfucker, Jared Hurd. He beat Lara. I think he stopped him, right? If I'm not mistaken.
He won a 12-round decision, but he dropped him. I know what you mean.
Yeah. He dominated him, though. In a way, he dominated him because I think he won majority of the rounds against Lara.
Yeah,
and then guess what? He goes on the other fights. It's like that one fight was his best fight. He goes on the other fights. He's trash. He becomes trash. Like that fight took a lot out of him. So we can sit there and say Wilder's, trash. He was never any good, but that was probably not the best Wilder we've seen. It's done, and we're never going to see that Wilder that was back in the day.
Okay, hold on. This is the same Wilder This is the same Wilder. What difference was this Wilder with the Wilder was fighting with Jarrell Washington? Or
exactly. The difference is that Bucho. The difference is he was more committed. He wasn't afraid to get hit. He was more committed to throwing the right hand, even though he would get clipped in the process. That was the difference. This guy, even Bivol, example.
He was afraid of Parker. He wasn't respecting Jarrell Washington. That's the thing. But he was respecting Joseph Parker because Joseph Parker is better than everything he faced before.
Yeah, Ortiz, or he wasn't respecting Ortiz neither, Bucho. He wasn't respecting Ortiz, but Ortiz punches hard.
Look at the second fight. He was respecting him. He was.
I can say this.
He was losing rounds. That's why he was.
Can I say something? That's all right. It looks like I gotta say that. Is it okay if I can say something?
Yeah.
No.
Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate all your wording. I hear you guys, but at the end of the day, you got to respect this era, no matter if you don't see it that way. You got to look like this. They brought us action-packed fights whenever they got it. Wait, let me finish. They brought us action-packed fights. We saw Joshua take on Klitschko, a fantastical fight. And you know that. Even till this day, you still think about it. We have Deontay Wilder. At the end of the day, it's a 10-year run. He did whatever he did. He hit bums. He beat bums. And he got exposed by Tyson Fury that also became the lineal champion at a certain degree. I mean, he beat Klitschko, and he made his fights with Wilder. Hold on. I'm going to finish it up. So then we got Fury and Wilder, all three fights. You can't deny that you didn't love them because you knew it was going to be action-packed.
That was a cherry pick gone wrong, dude.
Hold on. Then we have Parker go in and a New Zealander become, I think it was a WBO champion of the world to legitimize with Anthony Joshua to unify. Then we have Andy Ruiz, the stunner of a long-ass time that we haven't seen.
Story time? We're going to get somewhere?
So this era of boxing can't compare to the 70s, 50s, whatever.
Can I rebut?
Oh, let him finish.
The 80s, the 90s, the 2000s.
Okay, wait.
All superior.
I want to.
You gotta respect it, though. You gotta respect it.
You just said why? Why?
No, we don't.
Didn't I just
No. It was exciting. Exciting is not. Even if you exciting is very. Exciting is subjective at this point. We're looking at skill level, right? The skill
at the local.
No, but hold on, guys. Let me read super chat. Guys, 2 super chats and I'll let you go in. Brad Williams, thank you for your super chat. He says Usyk wins aged well tonight. Yeah, well, his win against Joshua is looking pretty good because Joshua's not a bum. I know people want to claim that this guy's mentally broken or whatever. I mean, this guy has skills, and he still knocks the fuck out of Wilder, like I always said. And by the way, super chat, the handsome dude, thank you for that. He says Ruiz, the most avoided boxer of all time. Ruiz, the most avoided boxer of all time.
I gotta tell you guys something else. I gotta say something
to what you just said. To what you said, respectfully, rebuttal. But look, man, I don't think we need to respect, man, because honestly, Ruiz, that was a cash out fight that they lucked out. It turns out that AJ was compromised, but he didn't, to his credit, he didn't make excuses. And what did Ruiz do? He shit the bed, he partied too long, and then he threw his trainer on the bus, blaming him. And wait, listen, I'm not done. And then also with Wilder, one thing I will give him that he has that dog, you know what I mean? But with Fury, it was a cherry pick gone wrong. Y'all remember that rant that he went on when he said, "Oh, don't forget who brought you back to boxing. You were on cocaine. You were heavy. You were fat. You were suicidal. Don't ever forget who brought you back." He pretty much said right there that he cherry picked them because of those issues that Fury was having. That was a cherry pick gone wrong.
That's obvious.
That's obvious. You can't respect. You shouldn't just say, "Oh, let's respect these guys."
Bro, look, I'll give you another example. I'll give you another example
Usyk,
with
can I
Riddick
talk?
Bowe. Mirage, after me, you can go ahead, bro. Like, I gotta say something. I'll give you an example. Riddick Bowe and Holyfield, they fought each other 3 times.
I loved it.
Yeah, it was great. But after that 3 fights, Riddick Bowe was never the same, bro.
But we loved it. But we loved it. It didn't matter. They gave us their all.
Reflexes. He lost a lot of shit, bro. But I'm assuming he wasn't on the
all. They gave it their all in the ring.
They gave it their all, bro.
That's the same
That's what
shit
we
with
want from our
big guys.
boxers.
Exactly.
Yeah, can I say one thing? Can I say one thing?
Mirage was gonna.
I know, like,
Mirage was gonna say.
hold on. Like, you're gonna cancel like what Butcher was saying, man. What? Hey, hold on. What's Deontay Wilder's best win? You're gonna tell me it was King Kong Ortiz, but what did King Kong Ortiz do? He didn't do shit. He was a fresh contender, fool.
All right, let Mirage go. Let Mirage go. He was next after Gypsy. He was next after.
Let me rewind. Let me rewind back.
Oh, I'm just telling you.
Shut up.
Facts. I'm just telling you the facts.
So back, you were saying, back in the day, Holyfield moved up, Usyk moved up. Okay, Holyfield was built like a heavyweight, and he fought like a heavyweight. Usyk is not built like a heavyweight, and he doesn't fight like a heavyweight.
Mirage, he wasn't built like a heavyweight. He juiced his way up to getting there, bro.
I don't think they can bear. Yeah, who cares? It was juice. Obviously, that's not the point. The point is, he actually, even though he moved up, he was a heavyweight. He fought like a. That's why he could hang with them. Usyk.
What do you mean? Like Usyk is not a heavyweight? Usyk is a 6'3" guy, 6'4", bro. Like he's a 6'3", 6'4".
He doesn't have the power of heavyweight or fight like heavyweight. He fights.
He hurt AJ.
Jerky.
He hurt AJ.
I favor Usyk to beat someone like Holyfield. Honestly, I favor Usyk to beat someone like Holyfield. If you don't, because of his movement.
You're delusional. All right. Whatever.
Why am I delusional, bro?
He struggled with the shot Chisora, but he's going to beat up Holyfield. Okay, whatever.
Look, man, Chisora is a bigger man, first of all, than Holyfield. If you really look at it, like he's a bigger man.
And he's shittier.
He's slower, but he could.
I'll take Usyk at 200 pounds, 210 pounds, to fight Holyfield at 215, and I say Usyk outboxes him.
Exactly.
Can I make a point in regards to? Can I make a point in regards to?
Holyfield. Yeah, bro.
No,
that's just recency bias.
That's my opinion. You can't argue my opinion, bro. You could say I disagree, but that's my opinion.
You know what Holyfield was? You know what Holyfield was? He was a master hooker. That's what he was. He was a master hooker. We're talking about a guy who's a master jabber. One is a master jabber. One is a master hooker.
So who do you think is
going to win that?
You said Usyk?
Master.
No, I'm sorry.
Not me.
I don't like saying master.
Holyfield fought the tougher competition in his heavyweight division before going up to heavyweight, and he beat the big dogs. You can't compare Holyfield to Usyk. It's a different type of era, and Holyfield was flexible. He knew how to use his jab. He knew how to come in. He fought you inside. Okay, he did everything. So you can't just say Usyk's going to go there and just beat him.
He's a master hooker, bro.
I wouldn't pick Holyfield. I wouldn't pick Holyfield, but I would pick Evan Fields, the one that used to get the special goodies in the mail. Evan Fields, the one that used to make
what?
I've heard this argument before. I've heard this argument that Evander Holyfield's cruiserweight competition was better than Usyk. Really? Who? Name me one. Name me one guy on the cruiserweight resume of Holyfield that was better than Usyk. Name me one.
Who would beat Benavidez on Holyfield's cruiserweight run?
I don't think nobody. I don't think anyone.
Hey, Brady's win. Brady's win is looking very. You guys were talking about how wins age. That Brady's win is aging well because Brady's did win the second round of the tournament. Remember that they had a second cruiserweight tournament, and he gave Adapaya the fight of his life, fractured his jaw. So yeah, that win is looking very good for Usyk. I mean, it was a very close fight, though. Don't get me wrong, but I'll say this, man. Listen, in regards to this heavyweight division, do we have to respect it? Well, yeah, but whether you respect something or not doesn't mean that. Whether you respect something or not doesn't mean that it was that good. In other words, it deserves less respect than other eras. Is what we're trying to say here.
Can I say one thing in regards to
that's understandable, BDA. That makes sense.
Let Del Boy go, Gypsy. Let Del Boy go.
In regards to, I think it was Inevitable's original point in regards to how we should be grateful for certain fights like Fury Wilder 2 and 3, AJ Klitschko. Cool, yeah, we all agree they were great fights. We enjoyed them, no doubt. But we should still expect more. We're talking in the time frame of like a 6-year time span here. We're talking about a handful of fights regardless. We got Usyk Fury way too late. We never got Wilder versus Joshua. We never got Wilder Povetkin. We never got various fights. We never got White Wilder. We never got this, that, and the third. Even like random contenders fighting each other. These fights don't happen. This is why boxing's where it's at. This is why UFC in America in particular has taken over, because boxing fans have this weird mentality of just accepting what they get. Like it could be fucking shit, caked on shit, and they'll accept it. Oh, be grateful. Fuck that shit. We should always demand better, and they haven't been delivering.
But even the 90s, but look, even the 90s, I can tell you something real quick. Even the 90s, we didn't get the fights that we wanted. In the 90s, we didn't get Riddick Bowe versus Mike Tyson. We didn't get Riddick Bowe versus Lennox Lewis. I mean, at the end of the day, when we got Mike Tyson versus Holyfield, it was too old. When we got Lennox Lewis versus Holyfield, it was too old. Like, come on, man, it's a difference. I love the 90s. For me, it's glorified because that's where I grew up. The 90s are my era. But at the end of the day, you can talk and diss and say that we didn't get this and that, but every era has had their own hiccups, man. And that's
I agree, but it's progressively got worse. There's more fights not happening.
Yeah, I mean, what is it, Your Excellency? If this would have came along 2-3 years ago, maybe 5 years ago, she would have been happening more on the fly, like it seems to be happening recently with Saudi Arabia. But we know it's bad business because of the PBC and their hand in the cookie jar. And the other dude that's with that looks like Pinky the Brain with Deontay Wilder.
Right, you're totally right. Bro, by the time we had Mike Tyson versus Lennox Lewis, bro, that was just ridiculous. Mike Tyson was shell of stuff.
And listen, same thing with Wilder, dude. Look, Wilder, he lost to. We know that Joseph Parker's a good fighter, but he's not the best either. This dude got dominated by the middle tier contender to a heavyweight. Oh no, he was ex-heavyweight champion. Yeah, he's all right, but he's not the greatest thing since, like, I don't know, sliced bread, like they like to say here.
Of course not. He's not. But at the same time, that was not the Wilder we know, bro. I'm telling you right now, that was not the Wilder. He's done. That guy's done.
Yeah, but how many rounds did he win? He didn't win any rounds. He almost got they're ready to.
The ayahuasca, the thing that he did, bro, fucked with him completely. His mind is weaker than what it used to be.
Well, that's a problem.
He's not the same.
This problem. Listen. Like, everybody understands the rules of engagement. Like, you have a certain period to get yourself right to go into a fight, and if that's what he's doing and it's fucking with him, that's his problem. He lost the fight because he's never been that good. You know, to me, he's never been that good outside of the big right hand. I will say this, that right hand was pretty special, in every kind of way, if you understand what I mean. I mean, he got like a little Terminator thing going on.
Versus bums, yeah, it was good. It was good at taking out bums.
And he's good at taking out bums. Exactly, you're 100% right. Yep.
Bums that like Ortiz that Ruiz went 12 rounds with. Like that.
40-year-old Ortiz, yeah.
40-year-old Ruiz went fucking 12 rounds.
Who got knocked down 3 times by Ruiz?
He got dropped twice. He didn't get that.
He got dropped twice by the big.
But he arguably won that fight. Ortiz arguably won that fight.
By the way, in the chat, there's a super chat. There's a super chat in the chat from that handsome dude. Thank you for that. He says Joshua was having flashbacks from June the 1st, 2019, Madison Square Garden. All right.
Nah, he was.
No, I don't think so.
No, he came in ready. He came in prepped. He came in better than ever before. That's a Joshua that'll probably do better if their Klitschko fight happened again.
I think that fighting smarter means that you're scared. It's like, no, I'm aware of certain things. The being aware and being scared are different things.
There's a balance. You can go too far the other way.
Right. Hey guys, can I say something?
I'm not saying because he beat Wallin, check him up, put him on the chalkboard for a win versus fucking Fury or if
Let's talk about Miller, bro. How he got dominated. I knew he sucked, but damn, Daniel Dubois pulled it off. Yeah, he pulled it off.
I don't think he sucked. He showed a granite chin, I mean, he was landing punches. I don't think he sucked. I mean,
I'm talking about Miller being sucker.
Hello,
Miller
Jarrell
sucked.
Can I say something? Since we're talking about
He
heavyweights,
sucked, bro. Come on, he sucks as a boxer.
Yeah.
He took a lot of punches, but he sucks.
Can I say something about like since we're talking about respecting boxing, of the heavyweights, a certain degree of this era? Can I also say about the 80s? The 80s was a tournament at the end of the day because we knew that Holmes, he was already ending his era and he lost. At the end of the day, there had to be somebody else to carry the mantle. They went to a tournament, and then Mike Tyson was the heavyweight champion of the late 80s. Do we respect the 80s compared to the 70s, or what we got glorified? And then the 60s where we got a certain champion, and then the 50s and 40s where we know that, the pedigree was different back then. But do y'all give the 80s the same amount of respect compared to this era?
They fought each other.
The 80s were better. They were better fighters. People said the 80s was one of the worst eras. Well, in hindsight, it was better than the 2000s, and it's better than today. I think a lot of people.
Larry Holmes beats a lot of these guys. Larry Holmes beats almost every heavyweight right now.
Yeah.
So.
What do you mean? The 45, Larry Holmes beats him. The 45-year-old Larry Holmes, he beat
Larry Holmes that beats Butterbean, beats these guys. That 50-year-old fucking Larry Holmes, man.
He beat Ray Mercer, a prime Ray Mercer, a 40-something-year-old.
Era that where guys. What about the 1920s, bro? Don't say anything about the 1920s.
We're getting there.
I'm always talking about the 1920s. I'm always talking about the 1920s. I love history,
man. I love boxing, bro.
Yo, fight each other and they eliminate each other during that process. Yeah, I respect.
Hey, what's that? What's those black fighters that they got? The boxing industry, they try to get rid of them. They blackballed them, or they were called something. Do you remember that? They were nobody wanted to fight them back then.
Mandingo.
Murderous Row.
You're talking about how back are you going in time here?
I'm just asking you about
Murderous.
You guys,
Murderous Row.
You guys didn't notice what happened to Bivol? Did you guys notice what happened to Bivol?
I noticed. I fucking noticed.
You know what it is? Murat, before you say anything. Murat, before you say anything.
If I noticed. I fucking noticed.
Yeah. That's good. You noticed, bro. He lost that killer instinct. He doesn't have it no more, bro.
No, what else? No, what else did you notice? Did you notice something significant that happened in that fight? Somebody?
Body shot.
I noticed Bivol came in with a very, very impressive physique.
Bivol got hurt by a body shot. Bivol was reeling.
I'm gonna roll out. Thank you so much for letting me come in. I'm gonna roll out. Have Merry Christmas to all of y'all. If y'all don't celebrate, don't worry. Hanukkah, whatever it is. Y'all take care, man. Thank you so much for letting me in. D Block, D Town, D City, Dville, Baltimore, stand up.
All right, brother. All right, bro. Peace.
Did you see Bivol reeling from a body shot? Did you guys see that?
I saw that, bro.
I saw that.
This UK trash can barely landed a punch, but one of the few body shots he landed, he hurt Bivol. And I've been saying, if people listen to me, hang on, let me land this bitch. I've been saying for months and months, I said, Bivol's vulnerable to the body. If he fights the Mexican monster, he's going to get folded.
Benavidez has a big penis.
All right.
What's up?
You love Mexicans more than I do, bro.
No, it's going to come through.
All right. Let me address.
Jimmy, go ahead.
Yeah, because I haven't. About Bivol and that body shot, dude. He grabbed the other side of him where he was hit. He was trying to, like the other guy said, trying to coax him in. Because right before that, he hit him with a body shot. Like I tweeted out, I was screaming, fucking body shots. Don't get me wrong, I was pissed about Bivol for a few things. I just want to say, listen, fundamentals, he's as good as anybody. Again, pitched a shutout, didn't lose a round. But what I realized tonight about Bivol, he has terrible punch selection. His punching, he has terrible punch selection. I was like, holy shit, dude. There was so many opportunities. When he had that dude hurt, he had a guy on the ring with his fucking flag in his hand, a fucking towel in his hand, ready to throw it. The ref had his hand half up, ready to dive in to stop him. But he kept throwing headshots in the same cadence, the same fucking speed and power. When he should have stopped and he should have thrown a fucking left to the body, and he brought the hands on and followed right by a right uppercut, and the fight would have been stopped.
I
was shocked that the punches he threw, and I just realized when he's in the midst
he
of
was
fighting,
not going to the
pelvic
right
slouching.
side of Arthur's body was weak on the right side. I was like, and then when he finally got to the right side, he dropped him. And I'm like, okay, now he realizes that the right side is weak. He should go to the right side. He did, and then he stopped, and he went right to the head again. I'm saying that this guy's killer instinct. When he was younger, he was more on that side. Now it's just not there no more. And to Mirage's point, I wasn't talking about Benavidez' situation. I'm talking about him fighting Beterbiev. Beterbiev is going to maul this kid. He's going to annihilate him.
I agree, bro. We have to be honest here as well. Everybody fans for Bivol, but that performance was unacceptable. If you're fighting a 15-1 underdog who's chinny, and who I was told came into this fight with an injury,
he didn't even come to fight. He wasn't even throwing
exactly,
back. He wasn't even throwing back.
I expect a stoppage. It was a poor performance, and he's lucky he's not fought Beterbiev in his prime. Beterbiev would smoke that guy. Who fought Vodzik, he would smoke Bivol.
Well, let me ask
hit him with all kinds of shit.
Well, let me ask you. Beterbiev has to still get to him too, because he does have that's what he does great is his distance in and out, stiff, fast jab was hard, gets people off balance. That wouldn't because Beterbiev's age. There's no doubt Benavidez, pound for pound, Beterbiev is one of the hardest punchers in boxing, if not the hardest. And anybody's not going to take his shots, but you're not going to see him fight. He's going to fight him the same type of way he fought Canelo. But I just want to reiterate he didn't take any off a punch. I was just shocked because then that's when I really realized tonight. I was always so mesmerized by his footwork and his balance. He's never, ever off balance. Never off balance. He's never getting caught clean. But what he doesn't do, he doesn't throw the right punches at the right time. I was just surprised by that.
Hang on. This is what I've been trying to tell people for a fucking long time. They focus on his movement, but he's very sort of his offense is sort of very repetitive and basic. When he throws,
shut your mouth, Mirage, man. Shut up, Mirage. Shut up, Mirage. Shut up, Mirage. You don't know shit, man. It's
no. Let him talk. Let Mirage finish.
These combinations, I think, I ain't letting Mirage talk. I ain't letting Mirage talk. No, I ain't. Fuck you, Mirage.
One at a time, bro.
Hold on. Guys, let Mirage finish his point, then I read some super chats, and then we let the new people go in. Go ahead.
Yeah, he's throwing combinations, all that, but to me, that's spamming combination. He's spamming. He's simply letting his hands go. Whatever lands. A real great combination puncher is selective. They adjust. They adjust and they go up and down. You know how your opponent's defending. This guy spams and he's repetitive. And this is another flaw that I noticed a long time ago. People are now picking it up.
All right. Get that point.
All right, guys. I said I was going to reach. I said I was going to reach something. So Nicolas to super chat with super chat. He says also most of part. Oh wait, hold on. The first one was don't discredit Tyson Fury's win on Wilder. Wilder changed. All right, so he agrees with Gypsy Boxing there that we didn't see the same Wilder. I fucking disagree. And then we have another super chat. And he says also most of Joseph Parker's punches did not land. Well, that's true. I mean, Joseph Parker isn't a great boxer either. I agree. Yes.
Yeah, he hurt him once and he couldn't capitalize. He couldn't capitalize.
Okay, let me add to Mirage real quick. Let me add to what Mirage was saying. So he is right. You know, if you look at Bivol, he's just a very, very linear puncher. And against a guy like Canelo Alvarez, who's a natural counter puncher, you know, straight punches, what Kovalev should have done if it was a real fight, which it wasn't. He would have schooled him just the way Bivol did. But against a guy like Bivol, or against a guy, like Benavidez, who's taller than Bivol, and he has an underrated guard, and his reflexes are also underrated. You look at Caleb Plant, another straight linear puncher. He doesn't like to punch around the guard. Bivol's the same way. That's going to give Bivol a lot of problems. Benavidez's style is going to give Bivol problems, and I would give him a very good chance to beat Bivol, a much bigger chance than Canelo. And I don't even know if Canelo's going to ever fight Benavidez, to be honest. But I do agree with
Bivol will be beating Benavidez.
Sneak in his look, Mirage, I respect what you're saying, bro.
Way better. One at a time. How can How can you have Benavidez beating Bivol, sir? Benavidez has never even been at 175, so we don't even know how his weight will transition to that weight anyway. And he has nowhere near the footwork of a Bivol. Benavidez is heavy on the front. Benavidez is heavy on the front foot. Bivol's got one of the best lead hands in boxing. Mirage,
he's right.
I'm not even into that fight, but we're talking about what we saw tonight from Bivol. That's what I'm talking about.
You have to go around
Mirage, listen, bro. Like, let me say something about it. Let me say something. I agree.
This guy isn't even done talking. Everybody's just jumping all over.
Let the guy finish.
I would just say the reason
Bivol has elite foot skills, elite dynamic offense. You can say he doesn't punch around the guard. Yes, he does punch around the guard. He was hitting Lyndon Arthur downstairs, stabbing to the body. He was leading with 2 frees. He was doing different things. He was doing in there. Benavidez has not seen that type of offensive arsenal. He's not Kyron Davis. He's not Ronald Ellis. He's not none of those guys. He's an elite apex predator at 175.
Does Bivol have the power to keep David off him, do you think?
Yes, he does.
100%.
Hang on.
Absolutely.
He landed a million punches of his dude. And this guy, he couldn't he hurt him eventually. He doesn't have the power to keep it.
Well, he's actually hurt him the whole fight. The kid fought to survive because that's how much he hurt him. He clearly punches hard enough. This guy didn't want to engage with him. He fought hit in the yard. Because what it is, he's got for a light heavyweight, he's got an extremely fast, accurate jab. And it's a pounding jab that stings you. That's his best thing. And he's got excellent balance in a Pacquiao style.
Jimmy,
landed on him and he just stood up.
Jimmy, to agree with your point, Mirage, when I said I agree with you, yeah, I saw some shit. That was according to what the matchup with Beterbiev. But if it's a matchup with Benavidez, I still think he schools him because he's got the better fucking foot movement. He's got the better jab. He won't stop Benavidez, but he'll definitely school the shit out of him. He'll still school the shit out of him like he did Ramirez because he's too much faster.
Caleb Plant had much better feet than David. Andre had a much better feet.
Caleb Plant isn't in Bivol's. Caleb Plant isn't. You can't even mention his name in this with Bivol.
But we're talking about their feet. What about Andre? Great feet.
His feet work is 10 times better than fucking Plant's. They're not even the same fucking stratosphere.
Plant moves, and then he stays stationary a lot of times.
Bivol just moves in and out. That's it.
That's all you need.
Exactly. That's all you need. That's what you're supposed to do.
And what happens
able to do without getting hit?
What happens when what happens to a fighter's feet when they get broken down to the body?
That's if Benavidez touch him up to the body.
Money ready, Mirage. Right? Mirage, you dumb donkey. How are you asking? How are you saying? How are you saying he doesn't have the power to
he brought the fight to him. He was trying to stop him. If you don't get that point, he was trying to stop him from the round 1 all the way to round 12. He was trying to stop this guy, and that's why he ended up getting a caught to the body.
And he was going to land punches.
Mirage, you dumb fish. How can you say? Oh,
he doesn't have the power. He's stationary.
He doesn't have the power to keep up Benavidez. He's not top bigger guys. He's not top bigger guys. You stupid.
I'm not delusional, bro. Like you been telling me that Benavidez has fucking not a flat feet. He's a spring chicken. He could just fucking bounce around. He's a flat-footed guy, bro. He's gonna tap him and move out, tap him and move out, tap him and move out. That's what he's gonna do.
To beat the shit out of pure boxers when he fights them. I wonder how he catches them. How does that happen?
Benavidez might hurt him at one point in the fight, but that's not gonna be enough to stop him. He's gonna run around him and keep doing the same shit until he wins on a decision. He has no chance. But Beterbiev has an extremely good chance of stopping Bivol. He's got a really good chance.
Did people get hurt with a body shot tonight, yes or no?
No, absolutely not.
He got slightly.
Jimmy, you reckon he was clowning?
No, absolutely. He was clowning, trying to pull him in. Even the guy watching it's fucking. You don't listen to anything with Sergio Mara. He's an idiot. He's trying to keep the fight. Watch the replay. He doesn't fucking barely touch him there. What happened right before that? Bivol hurt him. The guy dropped his guard down and caught him with a fucking right. Right to the body that he dropped.
Yeah, his arm went down. You saw that, Jimmy, right?
The kid, what's his name? The kid who was fighting, his arm went down.
Arthur.
And so, then Bivol kind of smirked and threw his eyebrows up like, yeah, I got you to the body. And that kid threw back to him, and he was like, and he over-exaggerated. It was obvious like, oh, like he was real hurt, and he kind of backed up. But then he instantly started started springing and pushing the jab. When you're hurt to the body, your legs don't move like that. No, that was absolutely trying to clown him in, trying to like thinking he was hurt.
I think Jimmy, he slightly got hurt, but not to the point where how Arthur got hurt. Arthur got hurt.
Anytime you get punched to the body hurts. You know what I mean? Does it stop you or take your legs out? I mean, no body punches feel good.
Yeah.
I initially thought he was clowning initially, but then people were saying where he legitimately got hurt, and I didn't get to see it, and they didn't show the replay at all.
They didn't.
I'll wait for judgment until I see a replay. But I mean, if he did get hurt, that's a huge.
Well, and one of the signs is he turned it up right after that. All of a sudden, he was the aggressor again.
Yeah.
Body punches you don't just shake off.
You gotta also understand one more thing, Mirage. You gotta understand one more thing. A guy that moves as much as he moved more than he did, I think I've ever seen him move, because he had to be very quick with the reflexes and trying to do what he does, but at the same time put the pressure on Arthur to stop him. When you move as much as he does, you become susceptible to be weak on the body.
He wasn't hurt to the body. If you're throwing,
I'm not saying he's weak to the body. He's not weak to the body. He becomes susceptible to become weak to the body, because you move so much. You expend so much energy. At one point, if he catches you in a right spot on your liver or whatever, you're gonna feel it much more than if you were not moving as much. If you know what I'm saying. If you catch you.
I get that. But I don't think he was hurt. I don't think he was hurt. Like Jimmy said, straight afterwards he started to throw a million punches. He was going in combination. A guy who gets hurt to the body badly doesn't do that. He doesn't. Yeah,
he didn't get hurt badly. He just got slightly he hit me in the body. But Arthur just he dropped his fucking elbow down to his fucking right side just to not get hit in that location. And I'm like, oh, you got to see that, bro. You have to notice it. But he didn't notice it.
Nitpicking Bivol's performance, bro. After he was off for a while, he dropped the guy and he won. What do you guys want from the guy, bro? Come on.
No, we're nitpicking because of the fact that
you have to stop.
No,
you have to.
He had to stop him. We're nitpicking the fact that if he fights against Benavidez, because we're assuming that his next fight's going to be against Benavidez, that's going to be a horrific. That you can't.
But
you can't.
Someone earlier say, I think it was a Brit guy was saying, he didn't stop him. That was performance. What the fuck? Just because he didn't stop him, that wasn't a good performance.
Yeah. He came into this fight.
It's still a good performance. It's just not the way we're injured. We expected.
He's not
the type of guy that knocks people out. You guys are making it seem like that's how he's been operating, and all of a sudden he's not.
It was another fight that he won every single round. I know that as far as professional boxers competing today, he has the best not get hit ratio, and he also has, I think now total. I know the Canelo fight is where he lost the most rounds of any fight was against Canelo. In total, it's under 10 rounds his entire career. That's how fucking good this kid is. But what I did say going into this fight, though, I made clear it would only help the Benavidez fight to get some more buzz around his name if he stops somebody. It just I would have liked to see it. I think the problem is too he starts to turn it on a little too late in rounds, and he runs out of time.
I think he dropped Joe Smith too, right?
Has a tough matchup, man. Beterbiev has a tough matchup, man. He better not get caught with something big straight down the middle.
That's a banana skin fight.
Yeah. I think he wins. But let's
the Callum Smith fight.
Say again.
I'm sorry. You're talking about the Callum Smith fight? I was just curious. Is that the fight you're talking about coming up?
The Callum Smith fight.
Okay.
He's got to be careful with that. I think he wins that fight. I think he's the better boxer, and he's the better. He knows how to put better combinations together.
Just don't sleep on him.
Just don't.
Right.
He's got a sneaky right hand, and he's got a sneaky right hook, and he's got a sneaky left hook. He's got two sneaky hooks.
Yeah. Beterbiev's issue is closing the distance. If he walks into mid range, and it's the left hook.
You guys hear me?
Yes. Check it out for a second there, Recognize. But you got to finish up your point.
I apologize. No, listen. If he wins that fight like I expect him to. With the thing with Bivol, I could see Bivol outboxing him for most of those rounds, but boy,
you're cutting out.
You got cut out again. Recognize, bro.
You said boy, and then you stopped.
Yeah, I think he'll be winning the fight until he's not. He's going to be expending a lot of energy, man. It's going to be hard for him.
Oh, Benavidez is gonna
Usyk.
catch that boy. He's gonna catch him, man. Benavidez, he's not as skillful as Bivol is, but he's not too far away from what Bivol is, bro. Like, I'm telling you straight up, that dude knows how to box. He knows how to box.
He's actually fundamentally sound. Extremely sound, fundamentally. His biggest problem is his own body. He injures himself nonstop, and that's part of because of the training. That weight training.
His workouts are crazy. His workouts are fucking crazy, man. It's insane. Like how a boxer is allowed to do that, man. It's insane. Have you seen those?
Exactly. But he does too much weight resistant exercises, and that just puts so much pressure on your tendons.
It's weird.
That's why in the old school, in the old school days, the boxers never touched weights.
Callum Smith is gonna give him a better fight than most people realize, man. That's gonna be a really good fight.
How tall is Callum Smith? He's like 6'4", right?
6'3", I believe.
6'3", and how tall is Benavidez?
5'11".
5'11" and a half or 6 feet.
6'3" is 4 inches, 4-inch height reach difference. What about the reach?
I think Callum got him on that too. Callum's 79 inches, and this dude is like 73.
Despite the reach, though, I think it's mid-range. I think it's mid-range where Beterbiev has to be concerned. This one is
who's Callum Smith? I haven't watched Callum Smith for
the British kid that Canelo. He was the champ that Canelo beat to get one of the belts, I believe. He was one of the belts.
I know that. I'm saying Usyk fought at 175.
He fought that guy at Bivol. Took 12 rounds. He's Colombian dude. He sparked that dude. He sparked Castillo out, bro. Had his legs shaking like he shot him or something in one round, bro. That was
like JFK. That was like JFK, man. That guy.
He's a great fighter because he caught somebody clean with a perfect punch. Doesn't mean that.
You're missing the point, man.
When you make those conclusions,
what I'm saying is,
trying to say he's got power.
Go look at his losses.
He's not a power puncher. He's not a big. He's not a huge puncher.
Go look at Callum Smith's losses,
man. Who cares?
John Ryder.
That man doesn't want nothing of
John Ryder walked him down and beat him up.
David Benavidez is a bum. He don't want to go out to 175.
When you look at Callum Smith's bad performances,
come on, man.
John Ryder and Canelo, he looked weak. He's
dead at the weight. He was dead at the weight.
Yeah, he looked weak. That's what I'm trying to say. Like
straight, bro. Like 6'4".
Now at 175 pounds.
He can't fight off the back foot. You can bully him. That's what it showed me. Not this narrative. It's weak. At any weight, you push forward. You can bully this guy against the ropes. That's what I saw. And that's
I agree with Virtuoso. I agree, Mirage. His inside game is poor. If Beterbiev gets on his chest, he's fucked. I agree.
Against the ropes, he's going to smash him up. It's going to be
but the problem for Beterbiev is when he crosses that from the outside to inside. It's the mid-range area. It's the left hook he needs to worry about.
With Beterbiev, bro. But Beterbiev, if he's dealing with a puncher, he's very cautious. If he's dealing with someone that doesn't really possess much to, do anything to him, he just walks him down.
Yeah, because make no mistake, Beterbiev has been hurt on multiple occasions, and in fact dropped too. Right, a few fights back.
He's been dropped twice.
Okay, so
twice or once. I think it's once.
Twice. No, it's twice.
Is it
twice against who? I think it's
Callum Johnson. Callum Johnson. Yeah, Callum Johnson.
It was two guys that
dude as well.
Yeah, they did. He
did buzzed. He caught him with a left hook on the inside, and he buzzed him, and he bounced off the ropes when he got up.
I don't know about buzzing him. It was more like a flash knockdown.
He
went down, bro.
It takes a lot for him to get down to. It takes a lot for him to get down to 175. I mean, he eats a lot of muscle, and he walks around pretty much a six-pack at over 200 pounds. The heaviest I read before, he's like 207, and you could see the outline of him abs. So he's eating probably 20 pounds of muscle.
Jimmy, he is getting
of course, recognize exactly.
I gotta see Callum Smith's fights at 175.
He hasn't had many, but he looks strong as fuck, bro. He does.
His very first fight at 175, he put someone on a stretcher, bro.
Lennox Castillo. He had
him on the fucking canvas frying like bacon.
That's the guy that Bivol went 12 rounds with. I mean, now Bivol fucking schooled the shit out of him, but he took, they went 12 rounds.
Man, Bivol's a small ass dude for 175. Even Arthur, whatever his name is, Linden, was a big guy compared to him, bro.
He's definitely on the smaller side of the division, without a doubt.
Yeah.
He's the smaller side.
Bivol's good, man. I just find his style uninspiring. I just can't stand. I can't stand seeing 15-1 underdogs going to a decision. You got to stop those.
You know what it
guys,
is?
I'm sorry.
You know what it is, Blue Collar? He has a very. He's still like the punch selections that Jimmy was talking about. It's still like he's in that amateur mind frame.
Yeah.
So like
headshot.
I gotta ask Blue Collar. How do you think Filip Pergovic does nowadays? Like, because I know that you were a big fan of him, from what I remember.
I years and years ago, but yeah, I've put that fucking claim back. Yeah, I don't rate him anymore. I liked him as an amateur because I watched him back in the day. He was far more dynamic with his lead hand, quicker. He's put weight on since he's turned pro. I just think he looks totally uninspired. He'll get a payday, he'll get beat, he'll retire. Not interested.
You think so? You think he ain't gonna be good? He's not a good competition against AJ?
No, not really. Nah. I was very concerned by his score against Xi Jinping.
I think AJ might beat him, but at the same time, I think he gives him one of the toughest fights of his career.
What I saw about against Zhili Zhang when he was turning his back, when I see that, man, it's hard.
Nah.
It's hard to back a guy.
He's just uninspiring. He doesn't. To me, there's no hunger there, and his skills.
He stopped the guy in the first round, though.
He was a bum, though, man. I mean, you can get guys like from that guy would not win on bum fights.
That guy was literally an Australian club fighter.
Exactly.
That's what he was.
Really, Mark Demore? Like, come on, man.
Bro, that guy, Mark Demore, 10 years ago made a shot David Hay look like fucking Sonny Liston. Honestly, man.
For real.
Hey, guys, can I add something real quick to it? I might have to bounce in a minute here. I just gotta say, man, you had no business being there. When I say you, I'm talking about Jamel fucking Big Baby Miller. That dude had no business even being there, didn't deserve it, all the suspensions for PEDs. But you talked your way into this, your personality, your blusterous mouth, and all the shit you talked about what you would do to this guy and Joshua and everybody fears you and your size. And you went out there and got fucking pummeled.
Jimmy, it was the two Amero bums. It's Jarrell and Deontay's bitch ass.
Yeah, it was like, fucking shut up, dude. You go away now. I don't ever want to see him again. And one of those guys who talked his way in there, like Wilder needs just to retire. You found that ayahuasca or whatever that drug is. He won't stop talking about it, even in the fucking ring, for Christ's sakes, dude.
Yeah, go back to the rainforest and get high again.
But
exactly,
Jarrell Miller's defense, to his defense, I mean, yeah, he got outboxed. I said he sucked, but to his defense, he's been inactive for how many years? Because of that drug bullshit that happened with him. I mean, he was
competitive, though. First fight,
he wasn't. He wasn't that good, bro. Like, he was okay-ish. Like, when he would at one point, he had some level of skill. Now he has absolutely no level of skill, and he just went in there.
333 fucking pounds. I mean, that's disrespecting the sport. That's like you couldn't stop stuffing fucking pizza pockets in your face 7 days before the fight. Like, what the fuck? Like, that's somebody who wasn't even trying to be in shape.
Yeah, I got no problems with somebody weighing 300 pounds, man. I got no problems with somebody weighing 300 pounds as long as you can move. You're good at your reflexes are on point. Everything. Some people are just big men, bro. Like, I got no problems with that. But if you're like,
he used to also fight at 169. When he was a kickboxer and shit, 160, 169, 170.
So he used to be able to get that.
Well, he can still, meaning he could get lean. He could get leaner, and you don't carry so much weight. So you have to push oxygen through all that fucking fat and all that muscle. It takes more. That's the reason why he had nothing on his punches after 6th round. He was completely gassed.
He showed a great chin. I mean,
yeah,
I think we should give credit to Dubois. Dubois, people have been shitting on him for having no heart. Dubois showed hard. He took some punches in the first 5 rounds.
I still say Dubois doesn't have no heart. The reason why he survived that.
No, he showed hard, dude.
He got hit with like a couple of shots. He didn't get punished.
He got hit a lot in the first 5 rounds, dude.
Yeah, he lost the first 5, I believe, if I remember correctly. He definitely lost the first 5 or 6.
And he's
I
and
don't
he's
think
still
he lost
there
a
and he
single
had
round,
grit.
honestly.
He showed grit. I mean, I think the boy's underrated now. He's
Well,
underrated.
he knew what it was. It was win or exit. It was like if he lost tonight, it was done. So he knew his career in boxing was on the line. And again, like you said, props to him. He did what he had to do tonight. Now let's see if he can carry it over to somebody in the elite, or at least the upper echelon.
He's got some
Bro,
decent
he
skills,
accepted the fact that he's a thing. He accepted the fact that he's a quitter. He said that, like, he didn't say it like that, but he accepted the fact that he's got quit in him, bro. Like, and this guy, he dominated him every round. I didn't give a single round to Miller, bro. Like, Miller didn't win maybe one, maybe two,
Miller's
barely,
trash,
bro.
Let's just be honest. He's trash. He's bad for the sport. He failed 3 drug tests back to back to back, man.
Bro, I gotta tell you,
all he does is talk his way into fights. That's all he does. He talks his way into fights to stay relevant. That's all he fucking does. He can't fucking box.
That's what you call it good managing right there by Frank Warren.
Yo, recognize. I just want to make sure that what you said, because that was hilarious. That's what you said. Did you call Deontay Wilder can't get right? Because you were kind of breaking up. That's what I thought you said, man. I'm like, that's fucking funny. From that movie Life. The mute retarded kid they called them can't get right.
Oh shit!
Is that because that's what I thought you said? I thought you called Wilder can't get right. Oh, I guess he's not here.
No, he's not here.
Where from the phone?
He's in that Christmas spirit.
I saw his avatar. He must be But overall, I got to say something too, man. That it wasn't as expensive as I thought it was. It was $39.99 for the pay-per-view. I mean, not that it should have cost me anything. I paid $225 a year for DAZN. I think they could have slapped that one as a fucking Christmas gift. But $39.95 was a lot more, respectable than $69.
Well,
it was an okay card.
What was going with the crowd?
Okay.
It wasn't even sold out. Can't they just give tickets away to just fill up the?
Bro, they can't even sell out games for the Saudi Premier League. It's just
and it's like it was at 1 a.m. The main event was like 2 a.m.
Yeah, that's it. Like that. It's like
they're trying to popularize the sport in Saudi Arabia. That's what they're trying to do. Jimmy, you was at 2 a.m.
for you. It was like 8 a.m. for me.
Drag him from the street. Tell him if you don't get in there, we're gonna fucking lop your head off. That's what they do over there anyway.
I told it was people under invitation only. Like you couldn't be like just a regular citizen in Saudi Arabia and buy a ticket.
Well, I mean,
like they run under an authoritarian family.
It's one family runs the country. Stadium.
But they have enough family, I guess, and shit. But that's what it is. They're not like they don't put them on sale for just average Joe.
It wasn't sold
No,
out.
definitely, it wasn't sold out.
Yeah,
but it's more of like an elite boys club. I mean, there's probably more millionaires there than anywhere else in the Middle East.
They could have held this fight at a hangar or something like that in front of all millionaires or something like that. It'd just be a ring.
I don't want to cut nobody off. I consider the card pretty much like one-sided. A lot of the fights were like a bum bashing. Yeah, dudes were just getting fucking knocked out. They weren't even in the fight. So I would have hoped, for the sake of the Saudi people, if there would have been a back and forth fight that they would have been privy to, it would have been much more of an engaging thing, for more of an experience, since they don't get to watch a lot of fights.
I agree. By the way, in regards to this Saudi influx in boxing, I do worry whether this is a fleeting thing. Because ultimately, we're seeing these guys go out to Saudi Arabia getting extortionate purses. If they pull the plug at some point in time, these guys are going to have like crazy demands for fights in regards to purses that they don't deserve.
It was not that long ago.
We've seen it was not that long
ago that I'm sorry to cut you off, but it was not that long ago that Skills Challenge has signed, Wilder and Usyk, and that one it went to the wayside. Like it's all makeshift. All this money, all this Saudi oil money is gonna dry up because can't run an oil for long.
And how many of you guys bought it?
Well, I bought it, but I mean, the thing is, if they don't get somebody local, if the sport doesn't thrive locally, it's just eventually going to fade away. You know what I mean? It's just no. This isn't something I would count on for long term. But if that's what's keeping it afloat right now, I mean, Hearn seemed pretty excited about it because he was using it as a talking about how that's the money they'll have to make the better Bivol fight.
He kept saying, "Your Majesty, Your Majesty." I'm like, this motherfucker is trying
it's
to
crazy.
Yo,
Yeah, I think because you know why? That's I believe how you're supposed to.
No, I get it. Hey, listen,
Yeah, I didn't call him, which I was surprised. I found that out recently. Yeah, I didn't know that.
If I was in that business, and I'm over there, I'm using the proper terms too. I'll do it. But
yeah, he's a suck up. He knows.
Yeah.
Bro,
isn't he like a royalty?
Well, yeah, he's the Bedouin family who owns
your
family.
royalty or your majesty? What was he saying?
Excellency, mostly.
Excellency. Yeah, excellency.
That's the same shit I use on BDA. I call him excellency.
Yeah, you better
I got it face come. Yo, recognize that Argentinian president. Yo, don't fuck with him, man. That dude's a clan knife.
I know. I use him as a mock. He's anyway. I don't want to talk about that. Second Renaissance. Yeah.
And that guy fucking anarchist.
Heavyweights can be exciting, but it's almost kind of sometimes it's hit or miss, man. Some fights can be boring. It's probably better if they would do like a Super 6 tournament for like the flies and the lightweights and shit like that over there.
Yeah, bring that back.
Bro, the thing
I also think these dudes are built, the smaller guys are built to fight tougher competition in the long term. Where the bigger guys, I think the bigger you get, it's like the more likely you get weared out.
Exactly. That's why I always say middleweight is the best division because you're big enough to hurt somebody and still small enough to throw a lot of punches.
What I mean is weird out in your career faster. Like if you do it when you're in the bigger weight classes, those guys seem to like end their if you see them fighting tough competition after tough competition, they kind of like their careers end faster.
They fade out. Yeah, they fade out.
I think middleweights and light heavyweights are like where the talent is really at. Middleweights and light heavyweights.
My personal, it's welterweight. Well, actually, I like, to be honest with you, 126 right through 160. That's by far my favorite.
I think if the royalty would experience a fight like Barrera Morales, Mickey Ward versus Arturo Gatti, Castillo versus Corrales, man, I bet they would like really, really love it. And I just wish like they could see that, man.
Yeah. That's a great point.
Everything was one-sided over here, bro.
Gonzalo, almost every the thing is, bro, with these fights, bro, like almost every fight, not every fight, but almost every fight, it's usually one-sided. Like one guy is better than the other guy, and he's putting his will and he's putting everything. And it's the occasional one, bro, when there's like 50-50, like Canelo and Golovkin, the second fight where they're both fucking throwing leather, and you see that like balance. It's rare like to see that shit, bro. Like it's not often. It's usually a one-sided beatdown. Like when you're talking about top tier, like usually it's one-sided. Like
that's why they didn't have to go to Saudi Arabia.
Yeah. Klitschko,
like AJ,
bro, he was dominating AJ. Bro, like Klitschko against AJ, he was dominating AJ, and then AJ ended up fucking knocking him down in the 5th round, and then he started to tuck tail and start be on his bicycle up until the 11th round, and then he put he stopped him at the 11th. But if that wasn't the case, you would have had a dominating performance by Klitschko, where he only got dropped once and he dropped his opponent. That it's usually the case. That's how fights are. Like one guy's
not in a pay-per-view. It's not usually in the pay-per-view. They're supposed to be the best against the best. And to Gonzalo's point, that's what he said. What fight is it? What fight are they going to want to watch after? You know what I mean? Like you leave that auditorium tonight, can't wait to get home and rewatch that on television. And I think that's Gonzalo's point. I think he's making a great point. You got to give these motherfuckers something to get excited about.
I mean, there's
a difference. Okay, sometimes, like you say, there can be certain elements to where you know that somebody can flip the script, even though they're losing. But a lot of these fights, like for example, what's Bivol? How many rounds did his opponent win?
None.
I don't think he won any. Frank Sanchez's opponent, it was like lopsided, dude.
He dominated him.
Yo, did you see that big Russian boy's fucking fight?
I mean, you guys should have seen it was a bad matchmaking. The only one that was probably in my thoughts that was going to be competitive was the main events. Everything else was fucking, guys with mismatches.
Honestly, I felt like Miller versus Dubois was the most compelling.
Yeah,
I agree.
That would be the one that was hard to figure. I mean, I said Joshua, I believe, would stop him. I didn't think that was going to be competitive, and I said there was no way Wilder and Tabucco. He said the same thing, and I believe even Gonzalo said the same thing. There's no way Wilder can go 12 rounds and beat Parker. It just fundamentally he can't.
If he didn't land the right hand,
he doesn't stop him. Yeah, exactly. If he doesn't knock him out, he's not going to win.
I thought Parker would lie down. I can't lie. I honestly thought he would lay down.
Oh man, Parker's a straight shooter, bro. I said that before. Like, Parker ain't gonna come there and lie down, bro.
But he really
Did you hear? He said, "I can't wait to get home to my family." I believe he said in Taiwan. Is that what he said? Not. It wasn't New Zealand. Still can't go back home. Moving in.
Kingpin Joe Parker.
Right.
The Kingpin, man.
This actually makes the heavyweight division more interesting. Like, what's going to happen with AJ? Who's he going to fight next? Then the fight with Fury and Usyk, how that's going to turn out. I'm now more excited to see what's going to happen next.
I think Hrgovic is right for the picking.
I agree. I think that guy's trash.
I wouldn't mind seeing Joshua versus Usyk again. If Joshua puts in the work, and everybody all the contenders.
I don't get you guys one thing.
Did you see?
Sorry to cut you guys off.
If he goes to the back of the line and he climbs the ladder again and he deserves a spot, you cannot take it away from him.
Money in the rubber match between him and Ruiz.
The second fight was better than the first, and if the guy earns it, you can't take it away from him.
Yep.
He just did not got to price himself out. That's all I'm saying.
Gonzalo,
I don't get these guys.
They made Wilder Fury 3, and that fight wasn't worthy of a rubber match.
No.
Yeah.
Gonzalo, what do you think about AJ versus Zane?
That's Zilly Zane. That's a tough dude because he's like real heavy, and when he rehydrates, he can take a punch, man. And that left hand is straight down the pipe, and it's fast for a big man.
That's what I was asking you. I was curious what your take is.
I say it's easy to take it.
I think that's the dude that he fought where he said he didn't drink water, but the next fight he fought, he drank like 4 gallons, so it was like a different Zilly Zane when he rehydrated. I don't know. That dude's a beast, man.
I don't know. No. I think it's an easy fight for AJ. I think it's an easy fight for AJ. I think AJ probably stops him.
Zhili Zhang's got deceptively quick hands, man, and he can crack.
Exactly, yeah. And like Gonzalo hit the nail on the head. That sneaky left hand. Fighting a southpaw sucks, usually. And when he has a sneaky left and he hides it the way he hides it.
Yeah.
He's a new juggernaut. When he fought the other juggernaut, there was like 2 juggernauts. One Abominable Snowman and him. One Goro from
what was Joyce known for, Gonzalo? Like we talked about, Gonzalo, he was known for his chin, his toughness, and Zane sparked his ass out.
Yeah, do you know what I liked about Zhili Zhang
clearly
in that first fight? In that first fight, he fucked Joe Joyce's right eye up, so he was moving to his left. So Zhili Zhang, instead of spamming the straight left, he then adopted the right hook from the southpaw stance, and he was cutting off Joe Joyce so well, man. He looks, it's weird, like Zhili Zhang's one of those guys, you watch him fight, he looks cumbersome, but just makes it work for himself.
No, he's got bad feet, bro. Like, Zhili Zhang got quick hands with bad feet, and that's the reason why he'll lose against AJ. I'm not saying it'll be super easy, but I'm not saying it's going to be super easy for AJ, but I think it's going to be easy because of his feet. His feet is not that good compared to AJ's.
This is what, how they say about the heavyweights. One fight can change everything, right? And this is true. So in the heavyweights with far less punches than anybody else and far less dimensions, you could basically box behind a jab and a good right or left hand behind that jab, a 1-2. And you could get a lot done. You can win many fights like Vladimir Klitschko did to some extent what Wilder did against lower level. If you can soak up punishment and you can start landing your right or your left hand behind your jab, and you could start visibly seeing that you're rocking your opponent and you're taking what's coming back at you, dude, you could get a lot done. That's what I'm basically saying. Zhilei Zhang with the straight left hand could get a lot accomplished if he could take what the opponent is dishing out. And he can because he's fucking huge.
Yeah, but I don't know if he can take a punch from AJ, though.
You're talking about a lot of people these days that talk about the feet. The feet. This is like these boxing fucking snobs, man. It's a whole package. It's everything you bring in the ring. And
yeah, it's the whole package. I'm saying the whole package is.
AJ's got some great feet. When did AJ have some great?
I mean, he showed great feet in this fight.
Well, he had good feet in this fight for sure. His balance was perfect in this fight.
Even in the Usyk second fight, he was showing great feet up until the fourth round. And this one, he showed even better feet. So like, if AJ has feet, bro. AJ has feet. Sometimes after the Klitschko fight, he was showing. I guess he put extra weight on, and he was slow against the Takam fight. But after that Ruiz loss, he's actually worked on his legs. He cut down weight to move better, and that's why he was. And at the same time, he was super cautious of getting hit against Pulev. He was fighting scared, even though he knocked him out. Yeah, he's got good feet, man. He just with him, it's a mental issue. I don't care what anybody says, bro. That has got a mental issue.
Listen. AJ got options, man. Behind this win, he got options. He either fight Hrgovic or the IBF eliminator. There's money in the rematch with Ruiz, and let's be honest, Wilder's a tuna for AJ. You fight him too.
Yeah, at this point, I would say he fucking starches him within like fucking 3-4 rounds, bro. He probably puts his ass out clean. There's no way he'll be able to fight him. That guy is gunshot. He's not throwing his right hand. Maybe he's got to change his coach, Malik Scott, because whatever he had before, he was much better. Even when the Miscellaneous fight, he was very super scared to throw his shit. I know you're trying to disguise your right hand, but bro, there was opportunities where you could have used your fucking jab hand where Parker was open. And he didn't. His reflexes are off, bro. He's gone, man. He's old. He's done. Yeah, the ring rust on top of that.
Because he only fought one round in 2 years, right? When he knocked out Miscellaneous.
Yeah, he's done, man. I think if it was a Parker that fought, if it was the Wilder that fought Ortiz, that would have been a different story. I would have probably. That's what I was expecting.
Catch him out.
His timing and his distance is off because he only fought one round in 2 years, and his basic training routine regimen consists of pad work with the trainer, and that dude is feeding him the pads. So obviously he's not working on setting the distance when your trainer is feeding the pads forward to catch your punches. It's the difference between him and the light opponent who's actually moving back in different directions or coming forward.
Gonzalo, he was in the fight with Ortiz. He was using his jab to control Ortiz's jab in order to throw his right hand. In this one, he wasn't using shit with the jab, bro. He was too scared to even. He was too scared to engage with use his jab at all, bro. Like that's not the Wilder we know. I'm telling you right now.
Luis Ortiz will make you look like $1 million in a lot of regards because he's slow as molasses. He's a tough dude, but he's like slow, so he's setting you up for the left hand, and he got some power because he's heavy. But you're seeing them punches coming, and when you see it, it's like when you brace for a fucking car accident. You see the impact, you're going to fucking brace, dude. You're going to take the shot because our defense mechanisms will just automatically do that when we prepare for, to take a punch. When you see it coming, and that's the thing with King Kong. He's too slow. If he's fucking King Kong's throwing, and I'm saying the punch coming, here it comes. Let me tense up. Let me clench my jaw.
It's not like that with though, Gonzalo. It's not like that with him. It's he disguised. Ortiz does disguise when he was good, and he's trash right now. He's because of the age. Even he's much worse. But the thing is with him, he was a very sneaky southpaw. It's not like he was a you see his punches coming all the time. Like Joe Joyce couldn't stop Brian Jennings. He stopped Brian Jennings. That's the level of.
But you know why? Sorry, but you know why Deontay Wilder was able to take his punch because of what I told you. But the evidence is that when Wilder hurt him, when Wilder hurt Ortiz and he went for the kill, he forgot about let me prepare for the punches coming back. No clenching of the jaw or tightening of the muscles or like bracing for the punch. He went for the kill. He got sloppy and he was breathing out. So his body was like right there to like be weak and be punched and not be able to take it because he wasn't concerned about that because he got reckless. So that's the only time when Ortiz was able to catch him because Wilder made the mistake of not really expecting
the punch. Yeah. Well, the punch you see doesn't hurt you. The one you don't see is the one that hurts you.
But when Luis Ortiz, it's extra. It's like you see that motherfucker coming all day. There's no element of surprise at all, bro. I'm just telling you, and especially if you're looking for it, dude. If you know that this is what this dude brings to the table, they're not stupid, bro.
Yeah, it's obvious. I mean, Parker took pointers off of Fury, and Andy Lee told them every way they could avoid that right hand, and they did a good job, bro. Hats off to Parker.
Well, what Parker did today was different. This is NPR, by the way. How you doing, guys? What Parker did today was he got low, and he was also slightly changing levels. And he didn't like Fury. The way he defended against Wilder was different than the way Joseph defended against Wilder. With Fury, because of his height, he would use the long guard. And he was able to get out of distance because Wilder has to wind up with that stupid shot, and you can see it coming a mile away. And he was able to do that. But Joseph would get lower, more like Rocky Marciano. You could see him and just coming forward and keeping Wilder on the back foot all night long. Which, I mean, it gave him no chance to get leverage on his shot. And he overshot that right hand all night long. All night long.
That's even Klitschko would have done the same thing against Wilder. He would do the same thing that the guy said. He would do the same exact thing. He would use whatever Fury's done. He would do the same shit. Klitschko would do the same exact thing and beat Wilder up that way. He will knock him out.
But to be honest, he didn't even throw the right hand that often. He just didn't throw it.
That's it. That's another thing, bro.
No, he threw. I saw him throw one hard left that he punched through, but he missed, and it basically sliced the air. It went right next to Parker's head. But he just didn't throw it, man. He didn't. The punches that he threw was basically like on the clinch when they were coming together. So
every time he did throw the right, it went over the head every time because Joseph Parker was changing levels and he was getting low. He stayed active. He was weaving his body a little bit to the right and a little bit to the left and also up and down. And so Wilder could never get a jab on him at all. I mean, what was the jab? He couldn't even get a stab jab. I mean, those 3 fights versus Fury, he was able to, at least in the first few rounds, get a stab jab going against Fury because Fury's a tall guy.
Yeah, he didn't do anything like that. He's right.
Joseph didn't do that at all. Joseph made him do all the work. In other words, he wasted a lot of energy for 6 rounds in a row, very little action. And the looping right that Joseph threw connected, and he connected enough. I mean, that was
Parker's head was never on center line. Yeah, he did a good job at. Yeah, it was very basic what he did, but it was efficient. Fair play to him. The game plan was spot on.
Parker used to always fight standing straight up. Always. This is the first time he's looked like that. You know, the first time I've ever seen Parker look like that.
Wilder was too scared of getting hit, man. That's what I noticed. Way too scared of getting hit.
This is the issue I've always had with Joseph Parker. Like, Joseph Parker, I watched this guy before he became a champion on the come up. And the guy's always had ability, but he's been one of those guys who's never really put it all together. Like, the AJ fight's a perfect example. Unification fight, he never really left it all in the ring that night. He's always been a guy who just, for whatever reason, hasn't got it right on the big night. But yeah, his tactics were good against Wilder. He got his tactics spot on.
And you can tell AJ, you can see where Wilder's not fundamentally sound because By the fifth time that Parker did the defense thing by ducking, and what happened, you can tell something obviously doesn't do a lot, doesn't train. I don't know if you guys heard me talk going about Jojo Diaz, what he does so well. When you go down, you never take your eyes off the plane. Fucking Parker was looking at tops of his feet. You never do that. You don't see the punch coming. You want to stay looking at his face, and as you go down, you continue looking right at his chest, his belly, down to his groin, if that's how low you go. But you keep your eyes up and your head up. He was just dropping his head right down on the center. Wilder didn't even read it. I mean, the announcer's like, Wilder just got to throw an uppercut. He's just got to throw an uppercut.
He's never thrown an uppercut. He
doesn't have one.
Yeah, he
doesn't have one.
Well, he doesn't have one. Really, he doesn't throw any punch correctly for the most part, except that.
It took him 40 fights.
There's nothing behind his uppercut.
Well, not even that. There's no uppercut, but that doesn't matter. The point is, it took him like almost 40 fights to follow up with a left hook after a right hand. He's not a good fighter.
He was on the verge of getting knocked out too, wasn't he? Did you see, guys? Was he grabbing the ropes with the two hands?
Yeah,
he was grabbing one side and the other, like he did it against Fury.
In the sixth round, I believe. Yeah, he was hurt.
He was doing a lot of cupping too. He was trying like cup the head and try to like push him over and to hit him with the right hand. Like he's pretty limited. There's not a lot. Like bending down and hitting it with the left. What do you think? He's Lennox Lewis? He's not going to do that shit. He's never showed that ever.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, don't you guys worry? Sorry, Gonzalo. Don't you guys worry about like the future of the heavyweight division? Who's coming up once like Joshua, Usyk, Fury retire? Who's coming up?
I don't care. It don't matter. Anybody's been better than this era. I'm actually happy to see these idiots die off, Del. I'm really happy to see this shit. I couldn't be happier right now. This is good.
Well, I think Philip is gonna do some shit, but that AJ is gonna. I don't know, man. If AJ fights Philip, bro, I think he beats him. The AJ that I just saw today. Beats Philip.
Which reminds me of who's that? The Bulgarian guy. Who's the Bulgarian that Klitschko and AJ beat already? Pulev, yeah. He reminds me of this kind of Euro stiff dude. I mean, you know, the world has moved on from that style, and I don't see, he's straight up and down, and AJ's gonna cream that dude. I don't see it at all happening any other way.
I agree.
What's AJ's next fight though, guys?
I don't know.
I think Big Bang Zhang. Big Bang Zhang. I mean, I think that to me is the most exciting AJ fight that could happen.
If he would have lost, he could have fought Wilder, but now he has to take a real fight. So who knows?
I'd say if I was AJ's promoter, I'd either go Zhilei Zhang or Andy Ruiz before the titles go vacant, because once Fury and Usyk unify, titles are going to get fragmented because of mandatories. If I was managing AJ, I'd probably go Ruiz, to be honest.
I'm about to say I'd stay away from Zhang.
Yeah, I'd probably go
Zhang
Ruiz.
Is perfect for him. Yeah. It's a good name on his resume. I think he stopped Zhang. He stopped Zhang, but I don't know if he can stop Philip. He's gonna beat up Philip.
I think AJ's made it clear that southpaws give him a little bit of trouble. Even Wallin tonight was giving him a little bit of, especially when AJ started beating him to the jab. Wallin started stepping to the inside on him.
How many southpaws has he fought, Lex? How many southpaws has he fought already? Man?
Well, his last 3 fights have all been southpaw. This is entirely my point.
He's got to be better at it. Yeah, at some point, you got to get better at it, because this guy does get better, bro. Like, I've noticed it. People were talking shit about him beating Franklin. I said he's going to beat Franklin, but I thought he was going to knock him out, but Franklin had a chin on him. He dominated the shit out of Franklin, bro. There's not a single round that I could have gave Franklin.
And also the Usyk fights, Gypsy, those were good fights. And this last performance, I gotta say, even though Fury's a champion, I would say he's probably the second best heavyweight right now. I would put Usyk, Joshua, and it's a tie between Fury and Zhilei Zhang, but those are the top heavyweights for me, man.
Just because the inactivity gone?
No, because he's a dedicated, he's a consummate professional. He's got a chip on his shoulder. I don't know what's his motivation, but he's got some type of motivation that leads him to train the way he does. And it's in comparison to Tyson Fury, that dude got a big family. He's got all this money. He got depression. He's not concentrated. He don't train. It's night and day, dude. One guy wants it. One guy, for whatever reason, Joshua, he has everything too in life. He wants it, dude. There's something. It could be a chip on the shoulder.
Gonzalo, you're right, man. Joshua, like, after that second fight with Usyk, I was like, if these guys have a third fight, because he did piss poor in the first one. He was dominated. He almost got stopped in the 12th round against Usyk. The second fight, he showed much more of a competitive fight. He was much better in a lot of things, thanks to Robert Garcia. But the third fight, if there was ever to be, I was like, if there's ever a third fight, I think AJ could probably beat this guy. If there was ever a third fight, he could probably pull it off because he's getting better and better. It's not like he's staying the same. He's getting better, bro. Like, if he's getting better, he has a shot.
I thought he looked worse in the second fight in a lot of ways.
Better than the first fight, in the beginning, I think his greatest motivation was to be probably like the best heavyweight in England's history. But you know, that was probably Lennox Lewis. But at one point, Lennox Lewis lost one time, then he avenged his loss. So Joshua was on that path because he fought Anthony Ruiz. Okay, he lost, he avenged it. But then he lost the second time. So did Lennox Lewis. He lost the second time, I think, to Oliver McCall. But then he was able to avenge that second loss. And Joshua didn't. So that's when it kind of fell apart. Like, dude, I'm never going to beat that guy. I'm always going to be seen as a guy behind Lennox Lewis. Right. So now he's more compared to, like, in his mind, they don't compare me to Lennox Lewis. They compare me to Frank Bruno. So right now he's at a crossroads.
Better than Frank Bruno, bro. Like, Frank Bruno's not. Frank Bruno will get knocked out by AJ. I'm just being realistic.
I give you that too.
You can't give that. You can't compare him to Frank Bruno.
No, but if you're not compared to the best, in your mind, you're just not good enough at all. And I think that's the thing with Joshua. He wants to be second to nobody, right? But now he's never gonna. Yeah, he's second. He wants to be second to none, but now he's never gonna be seen like a Lennox Lewis like ever. I don't think he could bring that back.
Let me tell you something about Lennox Lewis, bro.
He has potential to have. He has redemption qualities to him. He can come back if he recaptures his titles. That's actually a good story to be told. But I agree with that.
Boys. Let me tell you something about Lennox Lewis. He's trying to compare himself to Lennox Lewis. The Hasim Rahman fight, right, where he got knocked out by Hasim Rahman. The second fight, to me, with Hasim Rahman was not a real fight. It looked like Hasim Rahman went in there to get knocked out, get a paycheck, and leave. He did some shit over there that, till this day, I'm like, why the fuck would you do that? Like, he put his arms out straight up, no like guard, nothing, just stretched his arms out multiple times against Lennox Lewis until Lennox caught him.
Being desperate, he was frustrated and desperate. Lewis had completely boxed his
No, bro. Like, what I'm trying to say is, like, he was leaving himself wide open for a KO, bro. That's what I'm trying to say.
They paid him off to lose. Is that what you're saying?
It's a shady fight. It's one of Lennox's. To me, Lennox's fight. That's the only fight that looks to me shady as fuck from Lennox's career.
He needed a payoff. Really?
What I was gonna say, look, okay, I understand what you're saying.
He had some credibility a while back. He just
the second fight between you?
Are you British? You're Australian, bro. I'm not talking about that shit.
Come on, guys. One at a time here.
You're a painter. That's what you are.
The second fight between the second fight. Shut the fuck up. Hey, shut the fuck up. If you're not gonna talk about, hey, fucking Mirage. Let me say something. Stop bitching like a little girl.
I'm talking serious boxing.
No, you're bitching like a fucking little faggot, fool. Come on, quick.
This guy's talking crazy.
Okay, you're good. Hey, shut the fuck up, dude. Let me say something. Let me say something. Look, just think of the second fight between Usyk and Joshua. He was like 2 rounds away from getting redemption right there. Just imagine if he would have beat Usyk. It would have been seen like, okay, at least he didn't get knocked out on the second time when when Lennox Lewis got redemption over Hasim Rakam, like you're mentioning. No, at least he didn't get knocked out the first time against Usyk, and in the second fight, he was 2 rounds away from maybe getting a draw or winning. That would have been okay. When you lose something so close that like you lose everything, and you can never be put in the realm of like a Lennox Lewis from here on forward. It's like, man, it's like I missed out by this much. I was so close to capturing glory, and I didn't. I think that's what bothers him. Because he had all his aspirations and his dreams were like riding real high. But it just goes to show it just goes to show what 1 or 2 rounds can do to your career in boxing. 1 or 2 rounds in your career can put you underneath Lennox Lewis when you cannot even catch up no more. Even though Lennox Lewis got knocked out the first fight, he avenged it. Usyk did Joshua didn't get knocked out, but just because he lost it by 2-3 rounds, his career can never be compared. That's what I want to say.
Gonzalo, I gotta say, this guy said it's a conspiracy that Hasim Rakam was paid off.
Shut the fuck up, dude. You're only fucking giving me PTSD for him.
I said it was shady, bro. I didn't say it was. I said it was shady. And look at the fight, and you'll see it's shady.
What was that? Elaborate.
Bro, if I let my arms go, and I stretch my arms out while you're throwing a hook, does that seem logical? Does that make any sense to you?
What about fighters that drop their hands?
No. Dropping their hands is different. Mirage, dropping their hands is not the same thing as what I just mentioned. He stretched his arms out of front. Both of his arms.
So they paid him off to do that, to stretch his arms. They said, look, we're going to give you some cash. You stretch your arms out and you eat a shot. Okay, is that it? Is that the plan?
I don't know. I'm not saying anything else. I don't know, but that looks really shady, bro. That's shady.
You're shady. You're shady.
What he's trying to tell you right now, he's trying to tell you it's like it's kind of odd. It's like, so that's the tell for him. It's like, knock me out. Now I stretch my arms out. Now hit me. Like, what does that mean? And how do you know that?
I didn't say with 100% certainty. Look, Rockman didn't even listen. Rockman didn't have a. He didn't even break us. He didn't have a warm up. In the first fight, he had a warm up. He didn't even come in with a warm up.
Okay.
I'm trying to make sense of what I'm trying to say. You know what I mean? I'm trying to get through your head. Like something was fishy in that fight. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying, 100%. No, something was fishy in that fight. I didn't say 100%. Something was fishy in that fight. It was not the same Rockman that was in the first fight. It was a totally different guy. It was like a guy that came over there to lay down.
So did Lennox just throw a right hand, or did he throw something before that?
I have to rewatch the fight. It was a hook, but I don't remember which hook it was.
Yeah.
Where he shot, and then he hooked.
Didn't you throw a jab? Didn't you throw a jab first? A jab.
Yeah,
and that's.
You watch the highlights. Watch the highlights, and you'll find out what I'm talking about.
Caused Rockman to react the way he did.
The stretch his arms out.
I happened to watch that fight yesterday. I watched it on this new channel, and they showed like rematches, like getting your get back. And but I got to ask you, what do you mean by he didn't get a warm up? That's what they're doing the whole time in the back room where you're waiting to go in the ring. That's what you're doing for the 45 minutes. You break a sweat, get your second win going.
I didn't see a sweat in the second one. I could be wrong.
So you're saying he came in dry? Because that is sometimes guys come in the ring dry.
That's when you come in dry, though. That's usually when you didn't cut weight right, and that doesn't technically happen to heavyweights a whole lot.
No. Coming in dry means you didn't warm up in the locker room.
No, usually coming in dry is like what Spence did. Is when you cut too much fucking weight, and then when you go warm up and you don't sweat.
Yeah, but we're talking about heavyweights.
That's exactly on top. Most heavyweights don't come in dry if they warm up. That's exactly what I'm trying to tell you.
That's the weird factor of it.
Well, if it's a cold arena, what they'll usually do is wipe you down because they don't want you to get stiff on the way in, but they'll put a towel around you too. But some guys don't, work out hard enough. Ideally, you want to try to get your second wind in the locker room. You really want to push until you get your second wind. Because if
that's how it used to be.
You'll know it.
Yeah, I agree. That's how it used to be.
Mirage is making it sound like I'm saying 100% certainty, bro. It just looked fishy to me. That's all.
I saw
making a
Rockman get
suggestion-
starched. I saw the boy get just knocked the fuck
Even
out. Catch a big
suggesting it is
shot.
crazy. Even suggesting is crazy. So now you've just lost
That's crazy.
all credibility.
It's
You're a
all
peanut.
credibility.
You're a peanut.
Shut the fuck up, man. You probably come from a country full of peanuts. Shut the fuck up.
So you're the one that's saying
I'll go back on mute now.
that shit, crazy shit. Now it's a
Well, I'm not
conspiracy.
talking shit over here. When a guy performs one way in a first fight and performs a different way in the second fight, you're gonna have to question
Happens
that
all
shit,
the
right?
time. Happens all the time. Lennox
but-
didn't
but
take him seriously.
Who
Lennox
have you
didn't take
seen
him
a guy that
seriously.
stretches out both of his arms, bro? Both of his arms at the same, trying to
Fighters
defend a
do all
punch.
kinds
Both of
weird
his
shit,
arms.
dude. Okay, he got jabbed. Lennox threw a jab that fucking completely it made
So
him
he
react.
stretched both of his arms out.
Yeah, okay.
That makes sense to you?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense because fighters react all sorts of ways. There's no.
Oh,
set
he
rule.
got stunned off the jab and he stretched his arms out. He
Yep,
he
and
came
then
concussed.
Lennox fired it up. and he
Okay,
knocked him
if we
out.
say that makes that we can be reasonable with that shit. We could say yeah, that's probably what happened. But that doesn't that he did that like there was a shot that he didn't even land. Lennox didn't even land on him. It was like the initial. I think it was the first round or probably second.
we got a
And
phantom
he
punch.
stretched
We
his
got a
arm
phantom
out.
punch, do we?
A phantom punch.
Yeah, like it didn't land. Or what are you saying?
I'm saying like it didn't land and he stretched his arms out. Both of
Yeah.
them, not one of them.
Yeah, because he
That's-
thought it was going to land,
Did he-
so he reacted. That's normal. You think
I
you're
don't
going to
know,
get
man.
punched
That-
and then you react to block it, but it never actually landed. So what?
You either have your arms to your fucking close to your head, or you fucking stretch one arm out to deflect that punch coming at
It's a
you.
rule, like fighters react only how you say, no other way. In the history of boxing, they all
That's
react exactly the
fundamentals,
same.
brother. Like that's fundamentals, brother. I'm not talking about how fighters react. There could be a bum out there. That could be a bum out there. There could be a bum out there that does that shit. But is Hasim Rahman a bum? A complete fucking bum? Like he doesn't
I'm not
deserve to
gonna-
be in the ring with Lennox at all whatsoever.
Oh yeah, I thought you were at least reasonable, sort of rational, but now you're fucking.
I'm being reasonable, bro. Like I'm telling you straight up, it's something good because you love Lennox. I get it, bro. You can.
You said
Lennox fucking gay. You know that Lennox
You
is
kept
gay.
talking, you kept talking, and we lost like 50 viewers, dude, all of a sudden. With your
These guys
stupid
are
bullshit.
saying crazy shit.
Your
Why
fucking
is it-
takes
why
are
you
garbage,
blaming me?
dude.
Why are you blaming me?
Because I've listened to Gypsy at least for 5 or 6 years. Probably
Well, so
longer
you
than I have
believe
listened
this
to
guy
you.
says there was a
And
conspiracy?
you really have no variation for, but the reason that I'm fucking annoyed
There's
by
a
you,
conspiracy
because
because
this is why I'm annoyed by you.
agree
Because you
with
whine like a little
conspiracy
girl, but when
rematch?
somebody else wants to make a boxing point, you want to fucking interrupt, but then you're killing the time with all this gibberish.
Gonzalo, so you agree with him? There's a conspiracy.
I don't agree.
Rockman rematch. There was a conspiracy. Was paid off. Do you reckon that's a possibility? A legitimate, reasonable possibility?
I don't understand because you're slurring your words, dude.
Well, you always slur your words, so you should be able to understand me fine.
I don't think so. I don't think I do.
He reckons there's a conspiracy in the Rockman Lennox Lewis rematch. Apparently, he was paid
Mirage,
off.
if you don't like what I gotta say, we end the conversation over here. You know what I mean? You think
end it by
there was
shutting up.
nothing shady?
Mute yourself. Mute yourself.
Yeah, I'm not. You're the one talking.
You're embarrassing
Well, you're the one
PDA's
talking.
credibility. That's what I'm saying.
Oh my God! You're embarrassing your fucking credibility by talking about fucking Benavidez can beat fucking Bivol.
Okay,
You're
and you're
embarrassing
talking
yourself.
about
Everybody can
fighters
beat.
getting
Everybody
paid off.
can lose against Benavidez. Everybody
All
can
right.
lose against Benavidez. That's
All right,
who
guys,
you
come
are.
on now.
What do you mean
This is-
beat Bivol?
this is
He'll
crazy.
destroy Bivol. He'll stop Bivol, not just beat him. He'll
Okay, well,
demolish
wait.
him.
I'll bet on that shit. That's not gonna happen when that actually takes place.
But if it does happen, Bivol probably was paid off. You're gonna say he was paid off, right?
No, I'm not gonna say none of that shit. I don't
Everybody
say
in the
that
chat,
stuff unless there's
everybody in the
something there.
chat, everybody in the chat, vote. Do we kick Mirage out? There's a poll going on. If we don't get to 100
You can't
votes,
take
then
the
it's
smoke.
not
You can't take
legitimate.
the smoke, Bucho, as usual. You can't take it. Way too soft.
Who's soft?
Bucho, he can't take the heat.
Oh my God, bro. You're out of your fucking depths.
We're letting the people decide. That's how
Let
it should be.
decide. It's their loss. Let them decide. I'll take
32 votes.
I'll delete
32 votes. By the way, people, hit the like button. Hit the like if you're enjoying the show. You'll be out for a few. Like you're going to jail, let's say. So you'll be out like for. I'll see 3 months. 3 months without you is gonna be okay.
Can I vote to keep myself in?
Yeah, you can vote. It's not gonna change anything.
Okay.
We got 38 votes, people.
Yeah, you can kick me out. You can listen to Gypsy King talk his crazy ass conspiracies. If you
Bro, like
prefer,
Mirage, you don't believe that there's dives in fights at all whatsoever?
I don't know. In the history of the whole
What do you mean?
sport,
Yeah, in the history, even in championship fights, you don't believe that shit has ever taken place?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
I would need to see.
You don't know?
I'd need to see evidence. No, I believe in evidence. What shape is
Wilder, Malik Scott. Wilder, Malik Scott wasn't a dive.
I don't know. I don't remember.
Then what the fuck are we talking about here?
What shape is planet Earth, in your opinion?
In your case, it might be a fucking cube.
No, what's it in your case? What do you believe?
In your case, it might be a cube.
So you can't answer.
You just like talking shit. You're just talking shit. You don't even know what the fuck you're talking about. I just asked you a question. Do you believe that all fights are? There's no dives whatsoever. Nobody takes dives. And you didn't answer my question.
I'm sure there's been a dive in the whole history of boxing.
Oh, you're sure now. You're sure now. You weren't sure before, but you're sure now. So whatever I'm saying is not a. So it's not. It's not. It's impossible because it will never happen.
Yeah. Now what's that got to do with Rockman Lennox Lewis too?
Oh my god, bro! There's fucking rumors of Mike Tyson's fights being like that. I don't believe them, but there's rumors about it. If somebody says it, I don't talk shit like you do.
Okay. You're the person talking the most batshit crazy shit. And you know, if you want to kick me out, I can take my business. I can take my business elsewhere, man. That's fine. That's no problem. I'll take the fans. If you're gonna,
you'll take your fan base with you.
I'll take the fans, and they're gonna follow me. That's fine.
I don't know. It's getting boring.
Well, what do you want to talk about, Bucho?
To be honest, we talked. I hear you talking about Bivol. Benavidez beats Bivol. It's like, come on.
Bivol got hurt. David will fold him like a.
Well, let's see. Bivol.
Let's tell you something about Benavidez. Let me tell you something about Benavidez
first.
Sorry to Bucho, cut you off, bro. Benavidez was. If Morrell ever fights Benavidez, Morrell will knock out Benavidez.
Oh.
How's that for you?
What about Canelo? Why are we talking about Morrell?
No, I don't think Canelo. I don't think Canelo might even get knocked out by Morrell. It's possible. Morrell is a fucking big man that punches a lot harder than your boy Benavidez.
Okay.
And he got skill.
Is he ever going to fight somebody decent?
At least he ain't fighting fucking 154 pounders.
He's fighting cans. David didn't fight a 154 pounder.
No, he fought a David Lemieux, 160 pounder. He fought an Andrade that was a 154 pounder and moved up.
David had 3 fights.
Do you think Caleb Plant and Morrell will be competitive?
Oh, I think Morrell would win.
I reckon
Morrell will dominate and stop him, bro.
Okay, Morrell would you know that.
So Caleb Plant does not have the power to keep Morrell off.
Okay,
Morrell is a George Foreman guy's power.
Can Morrell handle a boxer like Caleb Plant? Do we know that?
Oh yeah.
I mean, it doesn't matter because Caleb Plant is going to gas out by the 6th round. So
I do.
He can 100%.
Caleb Plant. Listen, Caleb Plant did very well. Against power guys like Canelo. He did. He lasted all 12 rounds against Benavidez.
He is everything but power.
At some juncture, he gets backed up and smashed. And Morrell is a very slick boxer, man. And he uses distance incredibly well.
Based on what? How slick is he?
And he's got George Foreman type power. His shots are heavy.
Based on what?
He's a Cuban amateur boxer type with power. That's a rare.
Work is impeccable, man. In the ring, who's he beating? That's sort of
usually you don't get that combination.
Okay, so
who is he
wait a
beating
minute.
of value to demonstrate this to me?
Okay, so wait. Check this out. Who's he beating already? Sometimes, you beat the guys that are in front of you. And if you do that in a dominant fashion, you beat the guys in front of you. And it's not like Wilder, where we all know he's a one-trick pony, right? When you look at David Morrell, your eyes tell you that this guy's keeping perfect balance. He's keeping perfect distance. He's selecting shots. He's not just wailing on a guy like Wilder, for instance. You asked, I answered.
Yeah, he's got skills. Hang on.
What I'm saying is, first of all, what I'm saying to you is that when you look at the guy, your eyes tell you that this guy is more than the guy he's beating.
Oh my God.
Okay, he's more than the guy he's beating.
People were saying the same thing about Benavidez.
Just let him finish what he was saying.
Let him finish, man. Before Uskadagi, who did Caleb Plant beat? Nobody, right? But we could see from his he's got skills. We could see he knows how to do the shell. He knows you can see the guy's got good balance. You can see the guy's got good form. He's got accurate shot. He knows how to turn guys around. You could see that the guy has skills. But before Uskadagi, he didn't have any chance, right? So you can't say, Caleb Plant is no good because he hasn't beaten anybody. Right, but before that fight, you could see that this guy's got some skills. Now, how far those skills translate, we don't know yet. But it's unjust to say that. Dave Morrell has no skills. Everybody could see he has skills. Everybody can see he has.
Morrell is the type of guy that there's no knock on Canelo because Canelo's a small man compared to Morrell. Morrell's the type of guy that can possibly knock out Canelo. Besides Beterbiev, that's the other guy that can probably knock out Canelo. Benavidez can't. I'm telling you right now, he can't.
I disagree with that.
Guy, I got it. I mean, I can't. I can relate. I can say, yeah, maybe he possibly can. Well, I can relate with you. But Morrell, for sure, I know he can knock out Canelo. So he has that power and he has that talent.
Never stopped
the way Benavidez fought the last fight versus Andrade, that was a different Benavidez. The punch that he landed when he dropped him down, I never seen Benavidez punch like that until he threw that punch. So he's basically coming into his own at 26 years of age. If there's anything that Benavidez does in the world, ever since he was a little kid, and that thing only, it's boxing. So he's a guy that's got a lot of experience for a 26-year-old. He's not the one-hitter quitter type of dude. He's a guy that can overwhelm you, and probably like if Canelo doesn't have the greatest stamina, he can overwhelm him. With Morrell, he hits harder, but he got to be able to catch Canelo cleanly. Canelo got great defense.
And I'd add to that too. I think that was his best performance. I liked a lot of things that Benavidez did the last fight. I thought he showed patience. He showed, like with Plant, that he was too over anxious to take him out. If he would have handled Plant the way he fought this last fight, he would have starched him. So I thought he grew from the Plant fight. I thought he learned from his mistakes. In any fighter at that degree, making changes, so is a plus. So yes, I thought he matured from that fight.
He had a little piece of paper where he wrote on the little piece of paper, "I'm gonna knock out Andrade in round 5," and he put it in his pocket like a fortune cookie. And when Ellie Nutsack was interviewing him, he said, "Look, Ellie
Nutsack."
I wrote it right here because he didn't controlling the pace of the fight, and when he wanted to get the dude out of there, he did.
Yeah, he's showing better shot selection and shit.
Let me talk. Hang on, Morrell.
His shot selection was perfect in that fight.
Morrell.
Yeah, hold on. Anyways, guys, let's. I want to say something. Last year on the last Christmas special show that we had, we asked the viewers what they wanted for Christmas for 2023, and this is what we wrote: Fury versus Usyk. That didn't happen. Wilder versus Ruiz. That didn't happen. Garcia against Tank. That did happen. Ortiz gets a title shot. That's Virgil Ortiz, that didn't happen. Shakur goes to jail, that didn't happen. Spence versus Crawford to vacate, so Ennis gets the shot. Spence versus Crawford to vacate, that didn't happen. Ortiz versus Spence, that didn't happen. Spence moves to 154 to fight Charlo, that didn't happen. Wilder versus Joshua, nope. Beterbiev versus Bivol, nope. Camarón Cepeda against Devin Haney, nope. Devin Haney leaves boxing. I mean, almost, but no. Boxers fight 3 to 4 times a year. Nope. I wrote Steve Kim. Steve Kim becomes a new Larry Merchant. Maybe soon. The PBC to die. Nope. And Canelo versus David Benavidez. Nope, that didn't happen. All right, there we go.
So Morrell, he showed he's accurate versus guys who just stand right in front. David's shown he's accurate versus slick, high-level boxers, Caleb Plant.
Okay, but Mirage, what would that mean if he fights Benavidez?
Morrell hasn't even fought a fighter on the level of Porky Medina.
No, but what I'm saying, if Morrell fights Benavidez, Benavidez is not a mover. So why does that matter in that situation?
Okay, specific versus Benavidez, but you're talking just in general as a
yeah. If he were to fight David Benavidez, what does him not fighting a mover? Why would that help or hurt Morrell?
I mean, yeah, David's going to be there, but how does Morrell deal with a great jab? How does he deal with a great jab with body shots?
Hey, maybe he's not beating the best guys out there, but he's being fast track and he's beating the guys that they put in. Hold on, dude. Hold on, drunk ass. Hey, he's putting the guys that they put in front of him. He's beating them. And not only is he beating him, you're acting like he's struggling. The dude got charisma and he's walking these dudes down and he's got a little bit of a... Dude, shut the fuck up, Dan. Well, hold on. I don't care. Well, just shut the fuck up. I'm not talking to you. I'm not even talking to you. I'm not even talking to you.
To me.
I'm not even talking to you. I'm like,
shut up, Mirage. Let Gonzalo talk, man.
Hey, who's the guy that Canelo fought in the amateurs that beat Canelo? The Mexican dude that said, I'm gonna make Canelo's freckles fall to the floor and I'm gonna scoop him up with a little dustpan.
Omar Chavez. No, I don't know. No, I don't remember.
No. The dude, he knocked out in one round, the Mexican dude. I forget his name. Yeah, well, he was not popular. The way he's taking people out, dude, he's not struggling. He took that dude out in one fucking round. The guy that went the distance with Julio Cesar Chavez, 12 rounds. And the Kazakhstani dude, those guys are notoriously tough. And I'm not saying that because I'm saying that you should believe me 100%. What I'm basically saying, a Kazakhstani dude, a fucking Russian dude like that is not going to fucking bend over and fucking take the knee. He's not, dude. That dude almost killed him. So he's taking dudes out. He's different when he's knocking dudes down or knocking them out.
And a guy called Berlanga, he had 16 first-round KOs.
Who's even fucking Berlanga? I'm not talking about Berlanga.
This guy wasn't struggling at all. 16. Nobody in the sport did that. And now what?
Mirage, I know you're
talking about Berlanga, dude. Each fighter's got his own weaknesses.
Berlanga was cleaning out everybody.
There's nuances, but nobody brought his ass up but you, fool.
Okay, but did Berlanga show you all the intricacies Morrell showed you so far? Footwork,
no, the angles. Until you fight somebody, you haven't demonstrated.
People used to say that about your boy Benavidez. Remember that? And what would you say? Well, he passes the eye test.
Morrell hasn't even fought a Porky Medina level of fighter yet. David fought him when he was 21 years old. No, 20.
Yeah,
so he looks good. I want to fight somebody in the top 10. And why the fuck?
Hey, Canelo should fight Benavidez next. I agree with that. But I also think that Morrell will be a harder fight than Canelo. Yeah. Morrell will be a harder fight for Benavidez than Canelo.
I agree. To me, that'll worry me more. I think Canelo's
but that's what I know. Hey, check it out. But that's what you say to you. Because if you need to see evidence with your own two eyes in order for you to like understand things, that's to you. But that doesn't mean that you have to kill the buzz for the rest of the people in the fucking world. If that's the way you live your life, that's cool to you, dude.
Gonzalo.
That's a big fight.
I don't need you to point out you're fucking the way you understand boxing for me to come up with my own conclusions.
No, Gonzalo.
Yeah, that's not a fight for Benavidez, bro.
They're on different career paths. David's looking to fight for undisputed. He's earned that. And now Morrell, you want him to match him up with a guy with 10 fights?
I never said he was going to fight him. We're just saying, like, in comparison, like,
about it.
Stop talking about it. Why? Because you fucking say
David's
no.
looking for titles. He's looking for big names. He's earned that.
We get it, bro. We get it.
This guy comes out of nowhere, hasn't even fought a single top 10 division. Suddenly, David's got to fight this guy.
Stop talking about David Morrell, but I'm not even saying they're gonna fight. You're the one that fucking brought up bum ass Berlanga, and I'm not gonna say Morrell. Why are you bringing him up? You're weird, fool. Everybody and anybody can bring or say anything the fuck they want, dude.
Go fight Jarrell. I want to see you against somebody who doesn't just sit there like a heavy bag and let you punch you. That's what I want to see.
I think in reality, people were comparing. They were saying, okay, Morrell versus Canelo. Benavidez got brought up, but nobody was putting that match together. People understand, dude, that fight's not going to happen because of the risk reward. Because Benavidez, okay, he's probably in line. He's the man that, look, listen. He's the mandatory that Canelo got to fulfill by, the deadline is March, but since they're considering and fighting in May, there's an extension. Because I listened to Mauricio Suleiman speak. There's an extension to May.
Fucking crook. That guy's a fucking.
Listen, why okay, the fight that's probably going to happen is Benavidez. You're going to get what you want. It's going to be Benavidez. It's going to be Benavidez versus Canelo in May.
You know what Suleiman said? This guy, he goes, oh, we got to make sure the conditions are perfect and we don't break the process. We have to do this. We have to do, man, just fucking make the fight. He's talking like a
can you listen? Can you listen? Okay, can you listen? Okay, can you listen? Okay, there's 1 year that you have to like defend. Okay, 1 year. Okay, after you got the title, you got 1 year to fulfill the mandatory. After you got the title, I believe that's how the way it goes. And that deadline ends March 24th, I believe. But then he gets an extension because Canelo fights in May, that it will happen March, April, May, 2 months after. And that's what he said. And Juan Manuel Marquez questioned him on the live. And the other dude, this is on record. And they were calling out fucking Suleiman, and I'm sure you didn't listen because you don't understand Spanish. That's not a knock on you, but one thing that you do is you talk out of the side of your neck, dude. You're fucking rambling, dude. He fucking said it, dude. If he don't fight fucking Canelo by May, he loses the fucking WBC belt. Do you understand? Get that through your fat head, dude.
I don't believe that.
No, well, I don't care if you believe it or not. It's on fucking record. This is above your fucking your pay grade. Understand?
Okay. I'll see.
Okay, and there's a lot of witnesses. There's a lot of witnesses here. Your little fucking whining back and forth. It gets nowhere, dude. You're like alone. You're like alone talking yourself in the room, fucking like going in circles. This is nonsense. You've been speaking about it for and I get you. Juan Manuel Marquez, a professional fucking Hall of Fame fighter. Is on fucking Canelo's nuts, and he's always calling him out. And he's got something that irks him about Canelo that he fucking hates. He hates on him hard. But even him.
Hey, Gonzalo. Hey,
no. This is not complicated. Suleiman. Check it out. Check it out.
Easy.
Check it out. Oh, shut the fuck up, dude. You bring no points. Check it out. Juan Manuel Marquez, he's knowledgeable, he's smart, he's a fucking ex-boxer Hall of Famer. Okay, can you shut the fuck up? Let me finish my fucking point, dude. Let me fucking finish my point. You don't like hearing the truth, huh? But you don't. But you do not even understand. I don't care if he's Mexican or not. What I'm basically saying, he's got a reputation, and even when he went ahead and called out Suleiman checked him. Suleiman checked Juan Manuel Marquez, and I'm more to side with Juan Manuel than Suleiman.
Talk a bunch of shit.
Then go fucking listen to the interview. I'll fucking post it for you. It's on record.
Gonzalo, I got
ProBox TV.
If I ever get
ProBox
the chance to talk
3 weeks
I'll
ago.
say it to his face. If he ever comes on.
No. You don't understand. He broke down the timelines, and it makes. I know. A lot of people don't watch that shit, but I do.
It's been.
No. It's not been nothing. It's not been nothing. You don't have the evidence.
WBC
You're stupid.
Yeah, you know what happens? Even Gonzalo can sit there and compliment fucking Benavidez. Benavidez, which he was doing. But you earlier in the conversation, you were just throwing some props towards Benavidez because you saw him do some things. But dude, you weren't talking over him then. Just because he's saying things that you don't want to hear, dude, it doesn't give you the right just to keep rambling over people when they're talking, man.
Yeah, talk
you know
over Jimmy.
I'm not trying to be a dick. I'm just saying you shouldn't do that. Just let him say it, man.
You talk over Gonzalo, talk over Jimmy. No, shut the fuck up. Nah, shut the fuck up. Now we get to talk over you.
He talks over everybody, bro. He talks over everybody, bro.
Go talk to some kangaroos, motherfucker.
Oh, shit. I want to
ask boxing kangaroos.
When was
Jimmy, there's an interview. There's an interview. Earl Stevens, you speak Spanish, right? Do you watch Pro Box TV? Okay,
I can pick up on that.
Just a narrator. It's like four. Jimmy, there's like 4 people on the panel, and they bring fucking Suleiman in, and they go in hard on Suleiman initially. They put him on the spot. They try to grill him. And Suleiman, and not even why didn't he ask him about the Charlo situation? They asked him about the Canelo situation and maybe another situation where Suleiman fucking, what do you call it when you retaliate, when you come back with your words? He replied, but then he cooked the dudes that were trying to cook him. Those dudes were like Pharisees, and you would say that, okay, you have arguable points, like why isn't Canelo fighting fucking Benavidez? But he broke the timeline, and it's absolutely true. It's right. If he don't fight him by May, he will get stripped. But until then, he's within his right. But the fight's not happening until this point.
In that podcast you're talking about, a lot of people say they have that's one of the best podcasts has the ear to the ground with what's going on with Mexican fighters. So when I have the ability to watch that with the, that fucking thing you click on to change it from Spanish to English. So sometimes it doesn't come out good, but at least I can follow along with it. No, it is a good podcast. They don't like each other, too. You talking about the fucking 2 dudes who fought a bunch of times? They have a podcast together now?
Morales and Barrera. They're cool now.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Sometimes they get the fucking... I get that they still don't like each other. I don't know. Maybe I'm reading the situation wrong. Yeah.
But this is Pro Box TV. You got, on the English version, you got Chris Algieri, Paulie Malignaggi.
Okay, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I know what you're talking about, brother.
And Tim Bradley goes on there too.
Morales and Barrera,
the guy whose father owns Box Rec, his son is the media.
When did Canelo last fight a WBC mandatory?
Yeah, why are you so worried about Canelo, bro? Damn, bro, get off his nuts.
It was Yildirim.
Yildirim, when was that, Jimmy? Was that like an early?
Dude, you asked me when the last time. I'm just telling you.
And that was like March 2021. Wasn't it?
Yeah, bro, you have a weird obsession with Canelo, bro.
That's almost 3 years ago.
Oh, when a guy hates another guy this much, that means he loves him in a homosexual way, bro.
Do with hate.
Yeah, he probably got touched as a kid, bro, by a ginger and shit.
This is about the champion fighting the number 1 guy in the division. That's it. And I'll keep that same standard in any division with any fighter.
Then talk about it.
But he hasn't been mandated yet. And from what Gonzalo's saying, that is mandated, unless he's left the timetable, that he's already laid the timetable down. He has to fight him by this date or he'll be stripped of the belt, which is no way Canelo's going to let himself be stripped.
He said March. We're going to see. I think what's going to happen. So we're going to see.
If he fights him, he fights him. If he doesn't, bro. It is whatever it is.
You guys are talking shit about Morrell. Morrell's just talking shit about Morrell, not you guys. He's talking about shit about Morrell. Like, he's saying he has. But isn't he a silver medalist? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he's a very well schooled fighter. If I was handling him, I wouldn't fight Benavidez next.
Was a bronze medalist.
Just because.
Now what?
No, I know, but but you can tell Morrell is a much, much better schooled fighter than Wilder. Okay. But he's only got 10 fights. It's just not. If I was Benavidez, I wouldn't. That's why when I heard that they signed the fight, what's his name? Benavidez's manager was going online and saying, "Yeah, we're going to fight him next." I found that odd. I'm like, why would you bother fighting a dude with 10 fights? It didn't make sense to me at the time, but I'm glad it isn't happening.
When did Canelo fight a guy with 10 fights? What stage of his career was he fighting a guy with 10 fights?
It'd be kind of a no-win situation. Benavidez, you beat him, and everybody's going to go, you beat a guy with 10 fights. So let the kid at least...
Jimmy, imagine he struggled to beat him. They'd say, you struggled versus a guy with 10 fights. Imagine if he loses. Oh, my God, you lost. And if he destroys him, they'll say, "Oh, he destroyed a guy with only 10 fights." Literally, no, you can't win at all. No positives at all, and you can only lose. It's a terrible fight for Benavidez.
Yeah, he'll get
There's
knocked
no
out.
upside, is there?
He'll get knocked out too.
I don't think. I think there was better fights for him to fight. I think fighting Andrade was a good thing because Andrade's been running his mouth about the elites of that both divisions for years, and Benavidez smashed him out, and I'm glad he did because that dude he pulled his card.
And Andrade, even though he never fought a champion, he's done 32 pro fights. That's a lot of opponents. That's still more proven.
Oh no! Listen, that's one of those wins. That's a solid win. Absolutely. When people say who does Benavidez fight, now there's a solid win. People can say Andrade. Absolutely.
And it wasn't just the win; it's how you win as well, right? That's important.
Mirage. Caleb Plant will last 6 rounds with Morrell.
Cool. Make the fight.
Okay. I want that fight. Yeah, make that fight. He's been calling out guys. It's not like he hasn't.
Do
they really want him?
Canelo fight so Canelo can stop him. I mean,
hey, what is the Canelo? He's Canelo's interim. What does the Canelo take him out? We never talk about that, do we?
What's that?
What doesn't Canelo fight Morrell? He's Canelo's interim.
That's even worse. I mean, 10-fight guy because he's not the number one or mandated fighter. I'm not saying Benavidez should fight him either. It's not like I'm saying, Benavidez should fight him, not Canelo. Neither one of them should fight him because I don't think he's put in the time. To be honest with you, someone with 10 fights, I don't think they've earned it. I was that way when fucking Lomachenko was fighting for the world title the second fight. I don't like that shit. I don't know. I don't like when a guy comes right in. I understand you're highly touted, and with Lomachenko, because he was such a winning fighter in the amateurs, I could see it. I learned to deal with it. But at first, when they first announced it, I didn't like that. I'm like, man, it's like you're bypassing all these steps everybody else has to take. So
there's not too many 2-time world champions.
No, there's not. Exactly. It's not something happens. And then... anyway, sorry, go.
I was going to say, a lot of the time they overplay this, you got to earn it. Sometimes it's too extreme, but sometimes it's true. Like 10 fights, no top 10 wins. Yeah, that's true. Like, I don't think you've earned it. I agree.
No, listen, Benavidez-Canelo is the fucking fight everybody wants, man. So, I mean, we're going to see how Heyman plays it. I just know his stable is getting thinner and thinner and thinner. Thank God he still has Canelo for 2 fights, and he's got Bud for at least 1. Because if you guys think about it, can I just bring up one thing, and I'll make it real quick. You hear a lot in the black community that you always hear people say, you never hear athletes ever invest. They never go back to their hood, invest money. Okay? And I shit on Gervonta Davis all the fucking time because of the way he handles his career.
Right, because he bought his block out.
Yeah, but check this out. No, check this out though, right? But what he did wrong, you can't be engulfed in the gangs. And his clique that he hangs with in Baltimore is ganged up. I've read about it in the Baltimore papers. They've talked about it. In fact, there was a whole thing about people didn't like the fact he was getting the key to the city because there's an affiliation with gangs. But when there's gangs, right, that means that gang has enemies. So when you go on fucking television and you buy a fucking house like that, buy a block, was anybody surprised that it was lit on fire within 24 hours? I wasn't. You know what I mean? Like, dude, you got fucking enemies in that town. You know what I mean? If you really wanted to fucking and not get gleam off it, you do it on the down low. You buy it through a fucking trade. You do it through a fucking holding company. You go to a law firm and buy it. You know your names on it, but nobody's going to know. You could have did it on the down low. But when you show up and throw a press conference, of course they're going to flame that shit out.
Well, not even
Jimmy,
that. He did that
was
to
it
save his
insured?
reputation. Of course, well, maybe it was. That's an even better question to ask. So, of course it was insured.
Oh, yeah, well, if they change papers, if the bank isn't going to fucking pass a note unless there's insurance in place. So if he hasn't signed all, like, I don't know, did he go through all the paperwork? Was it 100%? I don't know. If not, then the city's going to have to get it. But if the bank did the note, the bank makes sure there's insurance on it before they, pass the paper.
Yeah, because if it's not insured, he's fucked. He fucked himself up.
Guys, NPR here. I'm out. Merry Christmas to everybody.
Merry Christmas, NPR.
Merry Christmas, bro.
Later,
I'll
guys.
head out too.
Merry Christmas. So I just want to say but it is the same token. It goes to show you, like, fucking, and you know how I know this? Because black people tell me this all the time. Fucking, man, one thing about us, we're jealous of each other, especially if you're from the hood. Like, you do good, guys want to take you down. They just want to take you down. And I see like Thomas Sotomayor, a bunch of other guys have talked about it, like we need to get past that. But that was a prime example. Whether it was that, but I think honestly it wasn't even that. I think when you run with a fucking gang that's got bodies on them, you got enemies. You got brothers of people who your people fucking took out. So you go and do a news conference on it. What do you guys think about that? Did you guys even hear about that? What happened over the past week?
I heard it from you guys. I haven't heard it from anywhere else. I mean, he's an idiot. I said it like, if he's a bum, if he's a bum, and then he got money, he's got that mentality of being a bum. He's still gonna be a bum. It doesn't change anything.
Well, I just want to say it was definitely no knocked over space heater, because I guess there was nobody living in that one. And he bought 2 buildings, 2 whole blocks, building blocks, and they gutted one. It was completely wasted with fire. So
was this in Baltimore?
In Baltimore, in the town he grew up in, in the actual building he grew up in.
What I read is that he has the right to redevelop it as well. So there's no clauses in that saying that those need to stay what they are. It doesn't need to stay a project or anything like that.
Affordable housing. It's not zoned exclusively for affordable housing, so which does make it suspicious, because that's what they used to do back in the day. They used to call that a hood eviction. When landlords would go in, well, we need you guys out of here, and they don't really care because they're gonna gut the apartment anyways, gut the whole place, and redo it. They'll just burn you out because people are like, oh fuck, I won't even see a judge for a year. I'm not going anywhere. Good luck to evicting me. And they just send some goons over and flame you out.
Yeah, there is.
He's such an idiot. He'll go up on stage and say, "I'm gonna whack you. I'm gonna kill you."
I don't know. I don't think videos with pistols talking about shooting people, and then he deletes them. He says stupid shit on Twitter and deletes it all the time.
Well, that's why I think they did. That's why I think they did this, is because this is almost like to save like his reputation a little bit. It's like he went back to his community. He rebought a block of homes and stuff. God knows what he's going to do with it. And as you guys said earlier, now I guess he's the landlord to him. It's not like he deeded over the houses to the people that live there. That didn't happen, right? No.
No, who knows? How do you know that he wasn't going to turn them into more expensive and then really not have rent control and try to gentrify the neighborhood? Although that neighborhood wasn't going to gentrify anytime soon. It's absolutely horrific in gang violence. So
I guarantee you, Floyd Mayweather wasn't part of that smart investments. Wasn't Floyd's idea.
Floyd invested in New York City. One Vanderbilt way. Floyd's actually the largest African American
landowner
in that building. Yep, he put in he put in a quarter of $250 million or some crazy money, which kind of sucks for him because literally the year after he did that, the fucking
real
estate
estate.
real estate took a dive in New York. Half the building's empty now.
That's probably why Floyd's out trying to act like he's in boxing again and doing all this shit. It's stupid because he knows he has to recoup the money he just fucking lost. Think about what that does to him monetarily. Because most of these rich people, they borrow against the investments they have. Well, if your investment just lost 40%, 50% on it, you have less money to borrow against for the next following year.
Yeah, they write it off.
Yeah,
they take in hedge loans and shit, hedge funds.
Yeah,
they borrow it off that.
Well, not even that, but think about the other aspect of it. If you're borrowing against your stock account, the only thing you're paying taxes on are the dividends that are probably repaying the loan that you took. So these people don't pay taxes.
Yeah, BlackRock's doing that everywhere. They're buying up fucking property everywhere. New York, Boston, all up the East Coast, California.
Do you guys notice that Floyd is not just because Tank has skill. It's not like he don't have skill. He's a decent boxer. But one reason why he's also keeping Tank around is because if he wants to muscle out somebody, the violent way, the way that.
Well, actually, Gypsy, Floyd doesn't represent him anymore.
That's bullshit.
No, dude, he doesn't. Seriously, he signed to Tom Brown Promotions, TGB. He's no longer Floyd. In fact, Floyd took him off his page. Anything what said Floyd Mayweather Promotions and was an article about Davis. It's now when you go to it and it says sorry, deleted.
Why is Ellaby on stage always with him, man?
Ellaby
it's weird.
is an advisor. He kept him on as an advisor.
Or a manager, managerial, right?
The thing is, though, like they don't. It's not like they don't talk to each other. It's not like they don't have no contact whatsoever.
Well, they never had a good relationship to begin with, and it all stemmed from him not wanting to move to Las Vegas. See, Floyd put pressure on him to move to Vegas, and Davis said, "Fuck you," and that's when he said, "Oh, really? Okay." That's when he called Bob initially and said, "I want to make the Lomachenko fight," and he did it publicly, so it get out in the press. And then Tank and him made good. He never called Bob back, and that's when Bob said, "Don't talk to me about Davis. Every time they have an argument, I get a call. He uses Lomachenko to keep his boy aligned. He doesn't want to fight him." And that's the one where Loma said, "Fucking oh, Davis, he's the toughest man on Twitter." Or the best fighter on Twitter.
Stupid.
Yeah, but so it's they've never got along, and it's because he's a drinker and a drugger, party nut, and Floyd, to his credit, doesn't drink at all. Never did.
He puts his energy into boxing. Even to this day, I know that he's in the gym. Floyd. He likes his drug addiction is not. He doesn't have one.
He does. It's winning.
It's win, but it's boxing. It's all boxing. Gym. He's a gym rat.
He was.
He still is, bro.
He can't. He has a hard time. He can't, like Davis said. He's like, man, every time
can't let go.
Like you're supposed to be representing me, and you would go to my press conference and you make it about you. Like,
he lost the
fucking time.
He lost the plot.
Yeah.
Like you're. I completely agree with you on that. Like he really lost the plot on that. Like especially if you're a promoter. He should be using his platform as like, yeah, I did all these things, but guess what? This guy is just like me. I see myself in him. He can literally have built people up so much better, and all those look at all the other kids that were surrounding him initially. He could have had Shakur. He had Tank, and where did they all go? Everybody left. He could have had Devin Haney. What did he do? He couldn't get out of his
about himself. That's why. Yeah, makes it about himself. And
he can't get out of his own way.
The final straw, that was when he went and embarrassed Calvin Ford. When Floyd went up into the corner during, I don't know if it was the Romero fight. Maybe it was the Romero fight or Isaac Cruz fight. That was it. And he kept going up, and he literally went up on the apron with the fucking trainers and started talking to him. Like, that's so fucking degrading to your trainer. Like, to have your fucking manager come up and start talking to you like he's one of the trainers. That was just so disrespectful to Calvin, and he never forgave him for it. And that was the real rift between them that ended the relationship. Yeah, he's with Tom.
Are we off the air?
I don't believe so.
Leonard Ellaby really annoys the shit out of me.
Tank gives me like sexually abused vibes.
He probably has been, bro.
I wouldn't doubt it, dude.
Like mother didn't love him properly.
16 foster homes, you recognize, 16 foster homes, there's a chance, a very high chance, one of them, there was a dealer.
If a man comes up with a purse on a press conference, with a woman's purse, what do you expect from that guy? Something's happened to him. He's been touched.
Never strange cat.
He's been touched, bro.
It's a satchel, Gypsy,
bro.
It's a satchel, bro. That's what you're
hearing. My ass call. This ain't no man purse, bro. It's becoming a thing too, man. These motherfuckers be out there, bro. Like I got this one friend of mine, bro. I know he got a lot of business. He got like a bunch of taxis. He's got like 10 taxis and stuff. He's walking around with a pack on the side, but that's more. It looks a little more manly, just even though for me it's not. But like it's like on the side where it's like you can take papers out and everything, but it's a purse, man. I mean, I can't fucking walk around with that shit. I get a fanny pack. I use the fanny pack before if I go overseas, but not a fucking purse, bro. Like that's for women. And this motherfucker came in with the worst type of purse you could ever. It's a straight up women's purse. Into the fucking press conference and acted all cool like it's his homeboys are gonna love that shit.
Hey Gypsy, Gypsy, do you have like little flower designs on your fanny pack?
Dude, no, bro. I don't got no. I got an Adidas sign on it, and that's it. That's a flower sign. You can call that false. It's a black Adidas fucking bag. That's all I got.
You're upsetting Gypsy now.
I'm not fucking Mirage, bro, man. I swear to fucking God. I will beat the shit out of that kid, man. If we saw each other out on the street, I would slap that crap. Oh, you're still here? You still here, Peanut?
Hang on, anyway, you're never
Bro,
safe.
I would slap
You're never
the
safe.
crap.
You're never safe. Oh God.
I don't care about my back, bro. I don't care about my back. I don't wash my back because I don't have to worry about that shit. I will whoop your ass.
I just let the screen harden.
You would call me Mister.
I will make Tank Davis's bitch. I will make Tank Davis bitch look way worse. You will look way worse than that bitch. Whatever Tank did to that bitch, you will look way worse than that. Dude, I'm not that tough, bro. I know for sure.
Not even you.
Okay, all right.
You're not even convincing yourself. Shut the fuck up.
I'm not convincing myself. All right, okay, all right. You believe whatever you want to believe. That's funny.
Hey, Mirage, I gotta ask you, brother. All kidding aside, do you get in arguments a lot with people, like in your family and back home in Australia? No, I'm just curious. You like one of those dudes who just argues with people? I'm being honest. I'm not trying to be funny or be an asshole.
I can be a little argumentative, I admit.
Really?
All right, because I was just wondering, dude. Because I mean,
that doesn't mean I'm wrong.
You know why
I think that's what everybody would say.
You know why I know you're a bitch? You know I know you're a bitch? Because you talk over people. You have no respect. If you're not a man, you gotta wait.
Oh, okay.
Whatever you want. But you talk over motherfuckers, that makes you a fucking homo.
I reckon you're a bitch because you're on Discord, you're acting like some tough guy. You gotta do something.
Oh no, I'm not trying to. I just don't like your ass.
Do you know what? I don't reckon you can even grow a fucking beard. That's what I reckon.
Have you seen my channel?
Yeah. I don't know who the fuck you are. Some dog shit channel. You got a channel?
Yeah, I got a channel.
Hey, speaking of beards, man, somebody got to talk to Sonny Edwards. Tell him don't ever walk around publicly with that trailer park trash fucking beard again, man. What was that all about? That little patchwork he had going on there. It didn't even fill in all the way.
Gypsy King, man. That's how I imagine Gypsy King. Like
Sonny Edwards. Yeah. Let him talk. Yeah. Peanut, shut up, Peanut. Shut up, Peanuts. Shut up. Go eat peanuts.
So if you got a channel, Gypsy King, I'll check out your channel. I'm gonna give you a thumbs down. Is that cool? Give you a thumbs down.
This guy. Bro, as long as you're a fan, I don't give a shit if you put a thumbs down. I don't give a fuck.
I'm just giving
this thinks like it's gonna bother me, bro. Like the thing is, like, he thinks that will bother me. That's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, recognize.
You gotta admit that's funny.
Recognize. Yo, recognize. Can you hear me?
No, Jimmy.
Oh, what's up, brother? I just wanted to say, listen, I know a lot of people. I heard somebody yell at you earlier about the fucking president you have as your avatar. Don't believe a lot of that bullshit. There's all kinds of fucking hit pieces being written about that dude that aren't true. The Western media are trying to fucking, they're just making up story after story. You know what I mean? I know some people blew him up to somebody's yeah, I do too, but you know what I mean? I know somebody said, oh, he's a complete fraud. I don't buy that.
I like him in certain things, and I don't like him in other things. But then again, I just think about it like, what would anybody do in his position? Like, in his position, I don't want to talk about it on this, but it's like we're still on the air, I think. So
yes,
he has to bow down to a certain group of people.
No, I just think he's so much better than what was there.
That doesn't mean he agrees with them, right? That doesn't mean anything. It's just like, it could be just part of the let me get my feet wet type of shit. And then I do what I have to do.
I haven't checked on this Argentinian president. I got to check him out.
I like him.
See who he is.
He's very charismatic too.
I'm a big Argentinian fan when it comes to soccer. I think they've produced the best soccer players of all time.
Beautiful country, full of fucking full of natural resources. It's just been so badly run.
What's the other great Argentinian soccer player there? Maradona? Is it Maradona or something like that?
Maradona. There was that other guy.
Maradona, yeah.
there was another guy named Stefan something. I forgot his full name.
When they say that
I don't even say
fucking,
Maradona correctly, man. Really?
I don't know how to say his name, man.
It's Maradona.
How do you say it?
We know. Yeah, Diego Maradona.
Batistuta was a great Argentinian striker in the same era of Maradona.
Just say Argentinian midget.
You guys might as well be talking fucking. You guys might as well be talking brain surgery. Soccer ain't my thing. Watch the World Cup. I just don't know the players at all.
I'm not even gonna lie. I don't know soccer like that or football.
You know what they say sometimes? They say the best athletes are soccer players. They say the best athletes are soccer players, but I don't believe that. They just I don't believe it either. No.
What? They're unbelievably conditioned. They've run up and down that pitch for fucking a long time. There's no doubt about that.
I've heard it from
super athletes.
I like the way Gypsy says Beterbiev. He goes, better Biff. Better Biff.
Yeah. Bro, I say it with the Armenian accent. That's what it is, bro.
Better
say it with the Armenian accent.
Yeah, better
Armenian?
No, that's actually it's like this. It's like this. Yeah. It's like this, bro. It's like
your father's side?
Yeah,
from Odessa, yeah. It's like
so that means you don't have to say your name, but I guarantee it rhymes with Armenian, doesn't it?
Yeah. It's probably like Avanesian.
Everybody who's Armenian, their name rhymes with Armenian. It's so funny.
You know, before ESPN, before ESPN,
before ESPN, her last name was Juk Navorian.
They'll do that. It's from the area. Greeks do the same shit. Like half their last names are going to be like Idis or something with that kind of. You know, it's actually kind of funny. The Germans do it too. Like everybody does it. Same with the Dutch. You always that ending connotation. You'll hear it like over and over again. Whatever race that you're looking at. So it's common.
It's nice when
it used to be with an E.
For Lomachenko, he used to go Lomachenka.
Lomachenka. It used to be with Armenians. It wasn't nice. Yan before. It was like saying Armeni. It started with E. So if you had a name like Mkhitaryan, instead of Mkhitaryan, it would have been Mkhitari. It would have been like that. But for some reason they changed it to Yan. I have no idea how that happened.
Did he come to America?
Nah, a lot of times that's done it.
I'm about to say sometimes they'll change. Sometimes they'll change shit just so they can pronounce, so people around you can phonetically. It was pretty, it's fucked up back then.
That's what they used to do back in the day when you come to the island. Some fucking dude he would just phonetically write it out.
They said when the Italians were coming to New York, they were all named Tony.
Yeah.
Well, did you hear? Look at you know, it's a good example since they keep it boxing. Look at what they did with what the fuck? Now my brain just blanked. The dude from Wales that was really good. The super middleweight. Kawasaki. That's not his real. That's not his real name. It's actually way worse than that. They shortened it to make that more adaptable to English. It's something way longer than that.
I know. It's Kazagioni.
Speaking of Ukraine, man, you see what fucking Klitschko said? The one who's the brother who's the mayor of Kiev.
Vitaly. Yeah, he's Is he still the mayor of Kiev?
He's an idiot.
I believe so. Well, he came out and he said that he spoke out against fucking Zelensky. He said he's an autocrat and they're running the country. And he basically went on to say how they killed a whole generation of young men. You know what the average age, this is crazy. The average age of the Ukrainian soldier right now fighting? Average age, 43.
Oh, let me guess. What?
Oh, yeah, sorry, 43.
Oh, man, what the hell, Jimmy? You're supposed to let people guess.
Jimmy, I just want to tell you, Jimmy, you're delusional. CNN is telling us the truth. We're winning the war. Come on, bro.
Yep, I know.
Yeah, they're winning. They're winning how many bodies are left on the ground?
It makes me sick because, like, I don't want to see Russian kids or Ukrainian kids die.
I don't
Unless
either.
that
I don't want to
meme with Joe
I don't
fucking
wanna
Biden
finance
smiling,
it.
whispering to Obama, Russian, Ukrainian, who cares? They're all white. Diversity wins.
I don't want
That's
to.
a meme.
I don't
What
want
was
to
it?
finance it though. That's what I don't want to do. I don't want to sit here and spend $33 trillion towards that. You know, like what we do already.
For a loss. They're already using rubles in a third of the country, all the way from the Donbass to the sea. That's all now converted over to
Yeah,
rubles.
but the ruble just
That's how
lost.
secure
Like,
they are.
you know, we can't talk. Are we off?
No, I
air
know.
or
We can't talk about because of boxing.
Yeah. Are we on air or off?
But anyways, I just wanted to say that the Klitschko brother is speaking out against him. That just goes to show you his power is waning. Because anybody else prior to that, he would have thrown right in jail.
You guys recognize saying how I pronounce Beterbiev? But that's how you pronounce it. That's the exact way you pronounce it. When you switch it in English, it's different. It's actually Beterbiev. That's how you say it.
Beterbiev. Yeah, Beterbiev. Yeah.
Like you add that Russian accent to it. That's how it turns out to be.
You know what I was thinking? Going back to boxing. Redemption story.
Look at me do that. Let me accent of Russian. Watch. Listen here, Dimitri. This is how you speak. This is how you say Beterbiev.
Beterbiev is ancient Cossack word for Russian Terminator.
Yeah, Jimmy, you have to fight Beterbiev.
Yes.
Redemption story for Joshua.
He's Armenian, bro. He just doesn't know he's Armenian. He's just a Muslim Armenian. That's what they did. They changed the tradition and everything.
You can tell Gonzalo can't speak, man.
No, you're trying. Is that what's going on here?
Gonzalo.
Is that what we're doing?
Let me say something.
I'm claiming him, bro. I'm claiming him.
Okay. Let me say something. A redemption story. If he gets lucky, it would be better if Gypsy King beats Usyk, and that way he can beat freaking the Gypsy King with Anthony Joshua. That would be a good redemption story. It would put him back on top, dude. Like, yeah,
for sure.
I mean, for Anthony Joshua,
maybe the greatest heavyweight of this era. Because if Usyk loses to Gypsy King and then Joshua beats the Gypsy King, hey, there you go.
You know, in AJ's case, I hope so. In AJ's case, I hope so. I don't recognize
give him the better resume. You can play a little triangle theory in the minds of the people.
I hope for the best, bro. Like, I hope for the best for AJ.
Hey, Gonzalo.
Yeah, and one more thing. Before I get off, one more thing. I want to say something real quick. In regards to Wilder and whole ayahuasca, I'm gonna smile to the bank, like I'm always wearing the smile. Like, basically, he don't want to accept this reality. And this is where we stand with Deontay Wilder. This is what I think. You know how some fighters, like when they reach a certain point in their career, they start losing. They start catching a lot of L's. Yeah, they were great fighters, like a Roy Jones. Okay, he was undefeated. Then he got knocked out, and he started losing. Okay, but you can make a case. You can hold on. Let me finish, please. You can make a case that Deontay Wilder was never there. He was never on the likes of those guys that were winning, and all of a sudden they went downhill. This dude never made it uphill. So he never made it uphill. Now he lost. He lost, and he was never proven. So like he doesn't have a claim to the Boxing Hall of Fame. He doesn't. A lot of the fighters that fall off.
I agree with him. Yeah. He's right.
Gonzalo. If you look at it that way, then you gotta say Prograis ain't shit neither for getting dominated by Haney.
No. Hold on, man. How long has Wilder been fighting? How long has Wilder been fighting, and he has not improved a single bit?
He's an idiot. I know. There's nothing about it. You can't say anything about it. He's gotten worse, actually, because of his age. Yeah. His reflex was shot. On top of that, there's nothing you can say about it.
But some fighters, you could say, oh, well, he had a great career. He was Hall of Fame worthy. Then all of a sudden, he started catching a lot of L's and he fell off. We're still going to put him in, right? Because we're going to count what he did in his prime. But this dude never solidified his resume throughout his career to be even considered that he was, like I was saying, uphill. So he's not even going downhill. You can't put the cherry on top. This is the culmination of a long career. Now he started losing, and that's because he's eroding.
Gonzalo, did you forget it was 40 cab drivers and one Cuban grandfather that this dude fought?
Yeah. But how many mandatory cab driver? The 10 title defenses.
I've never seen Chris Arreola in LA, so if he lives in LA, I'm not sure.
He's somewhere out here.
I'm a cab driver. I've never seen him there. I've never seen that dude. So I'm just saying, bro. Like I can't really. I understand the shit that Deontay's gonna get, and he deserves it. But
There's nothing I can say, bro. That fool, he did it to himself.
The irony, if people in your hometown, because they're probably look like him more than they look like me, make a statue for you, that doesn't mean that you're like really great in the grand scheme of things. Maybe your people, because they say your people. Okay, I'll say my people are the Mexicans, Gypsy, the Armenians, but we're all Americans, right? But I don't live in Tuscaloosa, all right? He's got his statue over there. He considers him but he never really he never carved a path for himself to be considered a Hall of Fame worthy type of fighter. And now all of a sudden he starts losing. Okay, we can take something away, but it was already cemented. Nothing was cemented.
Mark Breland tried to fix this clown, and he ran Mark Breland out of his camp, man.
Yeah,
it's a bad thing, bro. That dude actually saved his life in that second fight.
And they said Breland was actually crying. That he was outside the workout center in tears. He was so upset the shit was said to him because Wilder wouldn't even speak to him direct. He sent D's out to tell him. But Breland was like, wait a minute, he's blaming me, saying like, what the fuck is he saying?
Getting exposed. By the way, super chat, Jarrell Smith, thank you for that. He says, okay, fight card for $40. Thanks, Mr. Turkey Arab.
I wonder what the pay-per-view price is.
He never respected people that were like, okay, if he's a heavyweight, he was like, nah, he's smaller. He must have not been that good. Or if he is, I don't respect him. I see him as that type of, because he's smaller than me. Like, I'm only going to listen to the dudes that are like, look, my size, they're shouting all the time. And where was that energy that fucking Malik got, like, on the videos? Like, hey, brother, when it was, like, right there in the actual fight, when the other dude was throwing hands back, he was very mellow. He had the whole, like, hey, brother, as long as we survive, everything will be all right. What happened to that fucking dog?
Yep. You know what's even crazier about that to me, Gons, is like, can you imagine the mind frame you have to put yourself in? Because I think everybody, Jimmy would even say this. He was on the best Olympic team we ever produced. So think about how many styles that guy's seen. Yeah, he's little, and he didn't fight heavyweights. And it's like, what, you think he hasn't seen big guys get knocked out? You think he doesn't understand that? That guy was an excellent fighter.
Sorry, not so much that he's little because he's a tall dude and he was a welterweight, I think. He's an older man. So if you don't have a dude that's like on the younger side who was fucking showing a lot of bravado and yelling, and you don't get the attention, he don't command your attention the way you want that attention. Not by listening to the older, wiser veteran. No, he wants to get the attention by somebody feed it. Okay, I get it. Some dudes like the what's the Ben, the trainer for
Davison.
Joshua. They want they want the chemistry with the trainer. They want them to like share that vigor, like that pizzazz. But he didn't have that rapport because he never was really interested in listening to the skill part, to the words.
You're talking about the chemistry of trainers, man. You don't want to get too close. You don't want to be like
a rah-rah man. He was more like a rah-rah man. Like a guy that's shouting in your corner that's gonna pep you up. That's the type of dude he wants.
I thought the best he's ever looked though was with Breland. So that's actually kind of, I'm not to go against what you're talking about right now, but the best he ever looked has been with Breland. Breland taught him how to at least line up shots. Longer, right? Sorry,
you guys know about Kilbrook, right? You guys know about the coach that he has. What was his name? Dominic Engel. I forgot
Engel. Yeah.
Engel. Yeah. That guy drank the sweat off of Kilbrook. You don't want to be that close, bro.
Oh man,
you want to be close. That was I saw that every time I see. I just dude, if that guy's on YouTube, I just change it. He grosses the shit out of me.
That's good, but like I used to see Malik Scott like in the videos prior to the training, he would even like speak for Deontay, like my brother. You could tell that the energy was on a different level. And this night, it was the white man. What's his name? JD's. He's the one that was giving Wilder the instructions, telling him how to like get the angle to throw the right hand. It was not Malik Scott. So I'm saying, where did all that energy go? Are they too happy and content that they know they got one more round and at the end of the day they're still getting the payday and they're already millionaires? Then who gives a fuck? Is that what it is? I don't know.
It seemed like that. It seemed like
I don't know why Wilder ever trusts that white devil.
He alluded to it, and that's why he went back to when he was hurt and he was not doing well. That's why he went to him back in the corner, because he was the guy that's been with him the whole time. In my opinion, getting rid of Breland was absolutely stupid. He was the only one that gave him any kind of tactical prowess. That, like, think about it. That guy had a right hand, and he taught him that he wouldn't throw a left hook after. It took 40 fights for him to follow it up. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's why, dude. Guys, I'm gonna have to go soon, but
we had a poll here about the question: do we kick Mirage out? We had 145 votes. Yes, 63%. No, 37%.
Damn.
That's cool.
I think it's time for Mirage to take a little break. Maybe 3 months.
You know, like what's Malik Scott gonna be remembered for? At the end of the day, it's your last.
Hey guys, I gotta go, man. I seriously gotta go. I gotta do some shit.
See you, Mucho.
Thanks for having us, buddy.
Okay.